Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Lemons iRacing. I am Eric Root, Everything Bagel, the 24 Hours of Lemons, and I am fresh off of a race in meat space. Thank God we had a real race. It was awesome. Yeet. We'll talk more about that. But for now, we are at Road Atlanta for a 2-hour Sunduro just outside of Atlanta in Brazelton, Georgia. And joining me this weekend, as always, our producer, Ryan Bauer, aka the Bearded Sim Racer. How you doing this weekend, Ryan?
I'm doing fantastic. Yo, what up, chat? How we doing tonight? Big hype. Road Atlanta, 2 hours. We are up to 25 different teams, and it's going to be exciting. Also joining us tonight is Mental Ward from the Three Pedal Mafia, the Everyone Racers podcast. What's up, Mental?
Not much. Good to see you guys again, Eric. Happy that you survived your Great North adventure.
Yeah. We had a race. Everybody wore face masks and socially distanced themselves and did really well and behaved themselves. We didn't really have to tell anybody to put their masks on hardly at all. So, nice. It went as well as we thought it could. And it's a lot of fun. And everybody missed being at a racetrack. So that was just fantastic for everyone.
I love that people that would willingly drive to middle of nowhere, Michigan, and strap themselves into questionable cars, including some Chinese product, and I don't want to steal your thunder, that they absolutely understand how diseases are transmitted, and we still have people that just don't get it. Yep.
I had my funded by George Soros stencil ready to go on anybody's car who refused to wear a mask, but didn't have to spray anybody's car, so I felt pretty good about that.
Nice.
Huzzah. Boy. Turns out these races are real exhausting when you're there for 4 straight days. So
yeah, I can only imagine. I'm going to restart my timing screen program here because I cannot control the cameras. So yeah.
I imagine a lot of that too is probably everyone they're adhering to the social distancing, so there's a lot of yelling, but it's a lemons race, so there's probably a lot of drinking, and just adding to the exhaustion. I'm sure you were in bed and got a full 8 hours of sleep every night.
Actually, ironically, yes, I did. It was a funny thing is as a member of the Lemon Supreme Court, usually we solicit bribes from teams for good favor and goodwill. And in the interest of not catching anybody's cooties, we asked people to, in lieu of bribes, donate to Lemons of Love, which is the charity that typically shows up in the Midwest. So we didn't end up with any beer to drink. And also, just having been at the track the whole time, we just didn't really... I was so out of energy, I couldn't even have a beer, basically, is what it came down to.
Paul Ray 007 on Twitch. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it.
Hey, Paul Ray. So, that is actually great to hear. We were, and I'm noticing Chris and Chrissy are joining right now. We were at the beginning of all this nonsense, honestly worried, and I think that was part of the motivation of Randy Bish behind the you donate, we drink, is to make sure that Lemons of Love kind of still were able to meet their budget requirements, and I think that's been a really good deal. So I would hope then, as we watch Tony Payne spin out into the wall there,
F's in chat for Tony Payne.
Yeah, that the Lemons in Love did really well this weekend, because even when they're not soliciting, people just like giving money to that charity. It's legit.
Camaro's doing Camaro things.
That's right. John Samuel, a Midwest racer also, who took a leave of absence from racing this weekend. I believe he's planning on heading to Colorado for the 24-hour race.
There's another look at that. Matt Sicko getting yeety with it. All right, sorry, go ahead.
There we go.
Getting yeety with it. That is the kind of dated reference I am all about. Is what that is.
That's right.
Eric, we're surprised your brain is still left at all. I thought it'd be mush after the first meet.
No, it's totally gone, like way gone. So that's why I'm here. I can't think of anything better to do. You know how it is when you get home from a race weekend and you just can't quite totally shut off. I'm kind of in that phase. So
yeah, still hyped up, adrenaline, man. Yeah,
happy to hear you.
What up, Chrissy?
Yeah, how's it going?
Hi.
Chris and Chrissy.
Just
Chris and
great.
Chrissy.
Yeah, we're here. We just finished a lovely dinner and really excited to see some awesome racing.
So
There we
we're
go.
running the looks like we're running the short course here at the Road Atlanta. Instead of the turn 5 going to the left, it cuts to the right.
Excellent. That means more laps of fun, and yeah.
And it is going to throw everyone for a loop. It'll be fantastic.
Surprise, as they say, surprise, mother.
I believe that's the colloquialism.
That's correct.
See, I even said colloquialism. I should get a medal
Whoa.
for being able to be that lucid right now.
You can talk spout now.
Yeah, I'm just impressed you said that with being from Chicago, but yeah.
Well, I grew up with nothing but colloquialism. Thank you.
Oh,
Hey, there's all kinds of action going on.
let's see
Hey,
what
how
happened
many
there.
cars do we have this evening?
We have, we are up to 11, 12, 13,
That was a
14,
lot of
15,
awful happening at once right there.
It looks like we have 22 different teams on the timing screen so far.
Poor Anton, just minding his own business.
And
Sure.
And he's the only one that bravely soldiers on while everyone else cheats and hits the escape key.
Exactly. Extra points for that.
That's a great team name from Peter Monin right there.
That is
Now
great.
that song is stuck in your head.
So let's
I
talk a
just
little.
sang it, but they had the microphone off.
Well,
All
damn.
by myself.
There it is.
Now it'll be stuck all night.
That's right.
It's like
I think
Careless
that-
Whisper.
Any good liveries so far? I know we're late to the game here.
Nothing that we've talked about yet so far. This is Peter McDade's. Looks like Torquay Lemon Slowstis, fastest water boy on the side. That's nice. So we know
Says something
about.
on the roof.
Yeah, we know. Oh, let's go. Let's see if I can find that. Figure out what that was. Of course, I changed cars immediately. Smooth.
Just the Bear Pope.
Yeah, with the what's the terminology for that? The slurm look.
Slurm. Yeah, we'll go
Yeah, there we go.
And he's got his flex seal on the back.
Oh, it's Flex Seal. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Saw
important.
this race car in half, but it's still going to compete at Road Atlanta for a 2-hour enduro.
And then afterwards,
That's
we can use it to go fishing in Lake Norman at Daytona. It's a new look for Philip Cotier. And also, I believe it's new for him to be in a street stock. Is that correct? Normally, they're one of the Jetta guys, aren't they?
No,
Isn't he?
I think
Okay.
they typically, but I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Team name is so unique.
Okay, something
Yeah.
cool going on here.
It's. I bet he hired a marketing company for that one.
Ooh. Who is that?
I bet it cost him a lot of money.
Ooh,
I don't know.
Here we
Let's
go.
tape.
All right. 1969.
Oh, it's Merle Arayak.
Yes.
That's no reference. Oh, most.
Oh, very nice. And he's even got the. It looks like the infamous television Ant Farm that everyone knows. You know, Merle, if they were going to be famous, they were going to open for some other band that you haven't heard of. But then that show got canceled, and so Merle didn't have the chance to be famous.
There you go. That's Judge Phil's noise rock band, which was, I believe, Phil played parts of that. It played, used loosely there, of a radio played through a distortion pedal into a bass amplifier. I believe was the.
That sounds great.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah,
sound great actually, but it sounds
yeah.
very noisy. Yeah.
Police chatter too. I think he did that once. I'm happy to see the TDI Soar Racing still sporting the Moose Schlong get up.
That's right. Delicious
Like
lager.
Brian Davidson's question here about Lemon's boat racing is relevant. there was a movement. The Rally Baby guys were going to have a race from Stockton to San Francisco in $100 boats at one point. And, I don't know how much you know about navigating from Stockton into the bay, but it's, you know, the middle of a delta, so it's impossible to navigate and very easy to get grounded on. So there was this movement several years ago. I think Mike Carr was partially responsible for the idea of it. Never got executed, but the bad idea is out there still, of a cheap boat race.
I like this idea. Carolina Motorsports Park is resurfacing during the shutdown, and you've got the poisonous snake lake in the back of CMP. That would be great Saturday night entertainment. Is screen door boat racing.
There is so much happening on this livery.
Yes.
This car is like I can't even keep up.
The JDM sticker thing.
It's very thorough.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a Black
it's on a-
Haven.
The best part is it's on a solstice, by the way.
It's-
If you can call it joke there.
I'm impressed with the drifter inner fender on the driver's side with all the sticker bomb to replace your damaged front fender.
Perfect.
That's a lot of Photoshop work. Good on you.
It's missing the zip ties.
I love
Yeah,
rum.
the zip ties. Yeah.
Yeah, it's missing those.
I love JDM.
Oh, JDM or rum. That too.
And it just disappears. Cloaking.
MR Frisbee pointing out, let's say the top half.
Miata Bro.
They did.
Instead of Marlboro, Miata Bro. Love it.
Yeah. He needs the UPC,
Yes.
the barcode.
Yes, and make it look like cellophane. That would be great too. Like the powered by
Again,
Hope.
another awesome
Nice.
team name.
Yes.
Very nice.
Getting stanky with it.
Well, again, it's another marketing effort. Yeah.
Right?
Any,
You could do better.
yeah. Any team that's your own name is just weak.
It's
That is
the
weak.
default
I was
setting.
gonna say, yeah, that is the default one, but yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Here I was just thinking that's what they just. Yeah, it is still weak. You type something in. Come on.
So in other forms of
Probably
amateur
fine.
endurance racing, there are people that have paid marketing companies to come up with a team name, and the result of them paying money for that is what iRacing does when you're lazy. That's impressive. That's
Equals Matt Connolly Racing.
Or does that mean that iRacing's marketing people are geniuses?
Oh. But they're
All
giving
the
it for
above.
free, man.
Maybe that's part of the scheme.
Well, yeah. all right.
Something about the cow and the milk for free or something. I still don't understand that colloquialism.
Yes. Yeah. I'm sure that every young relationship person loves being referred to as livestock.
There's a lot of good things happening here with the Yeetios and the good team name of Blown Stimulus Esports. As Santiago dies in the background, F's for Santiago Iglesias.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. That is. He was also probably taken aback by the genius of the Ronster Jam car here.
Oh, got a rollover.
Ooh, he
No,
never
look at that.
lifted
What
either.
happened there? Oh,
Lovely.
wow. Clang.
Wow. Clang, clang. Keep going, Santiago. There you go.
Never lift. Yes. That's a breakdancing Miata Bro, is what that is.
A+.
Did he stick the
Said
landing?
sorry on it.
Oh no.
Trip to the
no.
beach for John Pickering.
It's summertime.
That's one way to get through that course, right? Just drive right through, not on the road.
That's right.
Yeah.
In real
I'm
life,
not going to say I've never done that because that is this was my home track for many years.
the real gravel is like a foot deep.
Back in the day, not to sound like Phil, another trip into the wall for Santiago. Back in the day, turn 10A and 10B didn't exist, and you just came off that huge back straightaway, foot planted with a slight left and a slight right as you went under the bridge.
Yeah, old video from there is wild in the Group C cars in the 80s.
Really? I need to check
Must
that out.
think that he's in one of those Pro 2 trucks.
Yes. Ooh, this would be a good track for the Pro 2 trucks. All the scenery and the greenery.
Until they all blew up on the back straightaway.
Yes. Well, we took them to Le Mans, so I mean, you know.
Oh, yep, compelling. You're right there. Yeah.
I've tried the Pro True Trucks at Road Atlanta, and you end up cutting off enough that it gives you a penalty, unfortunately, that you can't clear. I know. It's hard to find a track that you can cut
This should be
just
good.
enough off.
This should be really
Not
good. Three
too
wide.
much.
3 wide. Nope. Not Anton.
Are they going to split him? Are they going to? No. Okay, they're going to.
It's about as expected. Hey, Mentals, you have
Do you
low
have do you have low latency checked, Mental, on the gear icon by the volume on Mixer?
Damn it! You guys have told me this before, and I got to fix it.
Okay, it's okay. I just noticed it. Like,
I'm guessing no, based on the
yes,
8-second
based on
delay.
yeah. It's kind of entertaining though. Like, to be honest, let's see if we can get back to what happened there with the. Here we go. Is this the? No, this isn't the victim.
Oh wow! Jumped the road and it
was
stopped with like 3 inches to spare at the
That
wall.
was legit. That was legit impressive. Like, for like, you know, being a Unos Roadster, definitely doing good things here. Oh yeah, nice.
Yeet.
That's right.
Indeed.
All right, it is not allowing me to check low latency. I will try something else.
Okay.
It's like
It works either
framed
way.
out.
Okay.
Yeah,
it
but
might be.
yeah,
It might
great.
be.
Now I'm going to be like the 3-second delay guy.
Well, we can
Might
just
be
not
a-
talk about what's happening on the race.
Right, exactly. I was gonna say
Now,
that's
yeah.
the solution there. Is say it might be a Safari thing if you're on Mac.
Yeah.
Not too sure.
Yeah, hey, Mental, Safari won't let you do it. I have to turn to Firefox to get it to work. So Firefox, Chrome,
Okay,
one of those.
there we go. All right, I'm going to pop out of here and fix it.
There you go.
Because, yeah, I don't know why it even attempted to open anything up in Safari. This computer should know better.
What's up, Stunt Granny? How are you doing? How's your weekend? Yes, Ferris Bueller. There you go. Good point.
Man, I just watched that movie for the first time in probably 15 or 20 years.
Nice.
In the last month. I didn't realize, wasn't really a car guy probably the last time I watched, but Cameron drives an Alfa Romeo Sprint,
Right.
which is pretty great.
That is
Yes.
great.
And what's great is it's a piece of crap one.
Oh, yeah. It's totally hammered and, falling apart.
The curse
car,
of that movie,
Chrome Mustang. For Jay Becker.
it's really the only John Hughes teen movie that's held up over time. When I was a freshman, Breakfast Club came out, and I thought that was the most brilliant film I'd ever seen. And now I go back and watch it, and I'm like, oh my God, stop whining. Just do your friggin' detention. But Ferris Bueller still makes sense.
It's the best 80s producer, director. The best one is definitely Savage Steve Holland, if you're
Oh, of
familiar
course.
with Better
Yes,
Off Dead.
Better Off Dead and One Crazy Summer. He also had a short-lived TV show at the beginning of the Fox network. About a teenage secret agent.
Yeah. That stuff is still
That doesn't sound terrible.
absolutely hilarious.
Yes.
Well, you have to understand his sense of humor was just so out there. It's still out there when you watch it.
You don't hate the God bless it. He was in all the
John
Police
Cusack.
Academy movies. No, yeah, John Cusack's great, but he talks like this. Comedian and now he's
Gutenberg?
a
Bobcat.
director.
Oh,
Bobcat Goldthwait. Yeah, you don't hate Bobcat
yeah.
Goldthwait in Savage Steve Holland films.
That's right.
Right. There you go.
Yeah, One Crazy Summer. Man, I grew up watching Better Off Dead, which probably explains a lot about me. I watched it a lot when I was 12. And
Oh, absolutely.
And explaining to people that it's a teen comedy about a kid trying to kill himself. That's,
And it's
Wow, you
and
watched
best
that
of
a lot
all, it's
when you
got
were a kid.
Winchester from MASH on it.
yeah. And oh god, Booger from Revenge of the Nerds. Also.
Yeah, this mountain is pure snow. I still say this. I still say routinely, go that way, real fast, and if something gets in your way, turn. That's some of the best advice ever. That's racing advice. It's skiing advice. It's wonderful.
Go
Chat
fast
wants
and when something
$13.
gets you, turn.
That's great.
Didn't ask for a dime.
So shout out to Gingerman winners today. Class A, Save the Tatas. Class B, the
Tatas.
the Dunning-Kruger effect. And Class C, is it Volix 20? Volex. Volex 20. Congrats,
So
winners.
So I wanted to know, how was the racing this weekend?
It was great.
Yeah.
You know,
Everybody getting good mood. Anybody
yeah, I think everybody
mad at the status?
everybody's really glad just to be there and be at a racetrack. I think everybody needed it. You know, it was a chance to get out and enjoy, just being at a race. You know, it was different. There wasn't a whole lot of intermingling. Obviously we were implementing social distancing and wear your mask outside of your own paddocks. So, it was a little different than normal, but not as raucous, I guess. The evenings weren't quite as rowdy. It was pretty laid back, and there was also a giant rainstorm on Friday night, which kind of helped put a damper on things a bit. But in general, the race itself was fantastic, and people were super appreciative.
Did everyone play nice with the social distancing rules, etc.? And did it all work out okay for all the logistics that had to be changed?
Yeah, actually, there's me wearing my mask. We'll talk about some of the cars in just a second. But yeah, people pretty much followed the regulations that we put in place. It was pretty rare that we had to say anything to anybody to put their masks on or anything like that. So, I think people were recognizing that this was but this is the world in which we live at the moment. So, if you want to go racing, you have to do these things. I think people were pretty respectful of that.
Yeah, I guess we're not going to be able to put 11 people in our hot tub anymore on Saturday nights.
Probably
Shame.
not. The Saturn Sky Ute was unreal.
It really was. Man, that thing is just it's the car they should have made. If they'd made that Ute, it would still be in production.
Yeah, it's much more impressive than I thought it was going to be. I thought they were just going to take the deck lid off and cut the back of the roof off and say, oh, there, it's a Ute. But no, they really actually put like a Colorado bed rear on it and really did a nice job.
Yeah, so the story was, I thought it was the Solstice that raced last year, but it turns out it wasn't. It was guys who raced with them that right after their first race with that guy in the Solstice, they went and they got their own Sky that had been rear-ended, like real bad. And it turns out the guy runs a wrecking yard or whatever, but he'd gone to Copart and gotten the Sky. And then he had a Colorado that had been wrecked in the front. He's like, looks at them both for a second. He's like, I think I know where this is going. And basically took the skin off of the Colorado B-pillar and the bed and grafted it right onto the back of the Sky. And then did an incredible amount of body work over the winter and the layoff, and just smoothed it all, and it looks absolutely stunning. Like, it was just crazy. And the engine, they threw away the Ecotech and put an Impala V6 in it, so it actually scoots pretty good too. So the whole thing was just
that's interesting. I wonder. Yeah, I'm interested how they put that Impala in V6 in there. But hey, not my Solstice anymore. Also, our Solstice is out on the West Coast. It just ran at Willows last weekend, where it promptly loosened up the bolts behind a wheel bearing badly enough that one of them even fell out. So
it's funny you mentioned that. Racers. It's funny you mentioned that, because the thing that eventually knocked them out was the front left wheel bearing was so bad, like you could see the wheel wobbling. So they put it up on jack stands to do the normal, wheel bearing test where you grab the top and bottom and shake it, and it moved like 3 inches.
Ouch.
So, yeah. So
I got a video
what
of
you call
that
load
exact
bearing
thing on
slop.
our X car.
Yeah, load bearing slop. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Sorry, Chris, go ahead.
So again,
Pantsless. The pantsless Matt from Sorry for Party is the one that sent me that video of just kicking the wheel of the Solstice up in the air, and it just wobbles around like it's not even attached. Like, like you put like one lug nut on something just really loosely, just so the wheel doesn't fall off. That's pretty much what it looked like.
Yep.
So
yeah,
chat's asking what the story is with the Swiss cheese engine block.
That's a Dodge Neon. So that's his name's Owen Shemro, I think is his last name. He's from Indiana. He's raced that thing for a long time, and somewhere along the line, he's blown up a whole bunch of Neon engines. But somehow he got his hands on 2 new old stock Dodge Neon and blocks, and so he's like, I'm just gonna build this thing. So he did, and the first one blew a hole straight through the block. And so he's like, all right, whatever. I'll build the next one. It'll be great. And that what you're seeing in that photo with him looking through the block is what happened to the second of the new old stock blocks that he he assembled for Lemons. So both of the
maybe the tooling was a little worn out by that point.
713. Thank you for the
that's
follow.
probably right. Yeah. So yeah. Oops.
I'm
That
gonna
was
jump in here and go. Thanks, Star Austin 269 for the follow.
there. You go.
Am I jumping on your stuff there?
No,
Beard?
no,
All right.
thank you. No, you're great. Thank you. That is an impressive hole, though, in that engine block right there.
Yeah. It blew up just over the crest of a hill, but the smoke billowed up about 200 feet from it, which was pretty impressive. You could see
What's
it from the paddock.
What's the old school GM looking car that's in the looks like almost like a Judge or a
The square looking thing?
yeah, what's that?
It's a Valiant. It looks
Yeah.
like a Valiant.
Yeah, it's a 72 Valiant. That car won
Nice.
Index of Affluency. It's a 318 column shifted automatic that was driven to the racetrack without a trailer and driven home. So
That's excellent.
yeah, they finished like right in the middle of the field. And
Well, good for
it was
them.
absolutely the slowest thing. So just kept it on
Yeah.
the track, stayed out of
Yep.
people's way, kicked ass.
That's great.
So,
I think when
What
you have to
award
drive
did
it
the-
home, it calms you down a little.
yeah.
What award did the Volleaks get? Because that thing coming in 14th with no problems was certainly an unforeseen event.
Yeah, so we kind of abbreviated the awards. We did, I think we gave out 7, including the class winners. So we just did Judge's Choice, Organizer's Choice, a regional trophy, and the IOE. So we didn't give them an additional trophy since they absolutely stomped all over Class C with a car that has 78 kilowatts of power. So, I mean, that's a reward in and of itself. If we were giving out more awards, they probably would have taken home the second trophy. But we didn't want to, with only so few to give out, we didn't want to give out a second one to
Makes
them.
sense. And this is the only time they're ever going to win Class C because it's going to break next time with some unobtainium part that they have to order off Alibaba.
Which is how they found parts for it in the first place. They did order stuff for it
Yes.
off Alibaba.
Yes.
So this car is a Great Wall Motors Volix C20R, which is basically a Chinese knockoff of like a Ford C-Max, more or less.
It kind of looks Suzuki SX4-ish,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
mean, I guess that's what Chinese automakers do. It's they take random like styling bits from various cars and stick them all together and see what happens. Oh, and that was interesting action there on track.
Let's just make a little roundabout there.
hang on.
That's all that's going on there. They're taking the Formula
we're back on
Drift
track.
circuit. Yeah, that's the old Joker lap joke. That's just the
Yeah.
Joker lap. Yeah.
It's they used to exist only for grid life, but security made sure that that'll never happen again.
There you go.
The Volix story is pretty interesting, though.
Yeah.
It was brought to Detroit by one of the big 3. They brought in 2 of them. One of them they tore down and nut and bolted it, basically, see how their IP is being ripped off by the Chinese. And then they road tested a second one, and it's like a 3,400 pound crossover with 104 horsepower. So I mean, it's not a fast car, but this one was street tested. They got rid of it. sent it to some wrecking yard that was supposed to crush it. The dude instead registered it in Michigan somehow because Michigan, and drove it on the street for 4 years without ever getting it seized by customs or anything, and then sold it to this Lemons team to put a cage in it and raced it, and it finished 14th overall with 100 horsepower as Santiago dies pretty good on the front straight there. Again. So that's the story, and they crushed it. It with no power at all and scary brakes. They said it trounced all over about 60 other teams.
One or both of the Slowmans running that one?
Brett Sloman was in it. Bill Dummett was one of the other guys, also an iRacer. Nick Haney and Mark Johns, also another iRacer.
Nice. Always enjoy having one, but if you can get both the Sloman brothers around, that's going to be a great time.
Yeah, they give each other copious amounts of crap, too. That's entertaining to see.
No doubt.
A little under 4 minutes left in warm-up. We have 25 teams tonight. Yay. Thank you to all the drivers for coming out. Thank you to everybody at home for tuning in and joining us tonight. Hopefully you're having a good weekend as we get the dawn to dusk Mustang. Very nice.
So Phoenix, the Fox, wants to see more Chinese knockoffs and Lemons.
Oh man, you and me both.
I want to see some of them start showing up on the rallies. I think those would be wonderful rally cars.
Phil went down as he does after I sent him some pictures of it. Went down the Volix YouTube hole. They're apparently also built in Bulgaria, so he was watching Bulgarian car ads. So they're out there. But Great Wall Motors makes a pickup called the Wingle, which is excellent.
I want one already. I don't even know what it looks like. I'm going to Google it, but I want one.
And they have a trim level of it that is called So Cool. So you can have a So Cool Wingle from Great Wall Motors if you would like to haul things.
The hardest part for the rally was actually it has to be street legal. Where Lemons, normal racing can be whatever you want.
But that Chinese knockoff was street legal. That was the story behind it.
It was. The current owner is less inclined to. Oh wow, that was great. By the way, less inclined.
That needs a horn. That totally needs the horn.
Yeet.
Yeah, the current owner does not feel super comfortable attempting to register it, only to have customs show up at his house and seize it, since he's a member of the bar association in his state. So
yeah,
the last thing he wants is to have to explain to his boss at the firm why the feds are seizing his Chinese car.
See, that car totally needs to come out here to the land of freedom in Nevada, where not only can you have a Chinese car, marry a person of the same sex, but you could be stoned shooting a .50 caliber while you're at it.
I don't know why we don't have all our lemon races there.
Yeah, it seems like
so
a no-brainer, right?
I'm going to go on a Phil kick, and I know why we don't do any races out here. Back in 2007, they were trying to actually come on here to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, had the date booked, and then an OEM booked the same date, and they kicked Lemons out. So Lemons then moves about an hour and a half down the road to the Spring Valley Ranch in Pahrump, Nevada, which is a high-end, like they have their own masseuse on staff, luxury membership-only race. And when the members began to ask if they could participate in the Lemons race, they looked online, found out what it was, and canceled the date. They're like, oh, no, we absolutely do not want this at our fine motoring club establishment. And it was after the date had already been published.
As Fred Schechter points out, we eventually ended up at Reno Fernley, that mecca of auto racing.
Yes.
Didn't that track shut down not long after? So.
It shut down, and there was something about construction equipment being parked on the property possibly on the racetrack
I thought
itself. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were parking diesel Volkswagens on every available flat surface that was around. Like, that's what happened to Englishtown, which is better than Englishtown deserves, frankly. So.
True. Now, somebody was asking about Speed Vegas. I'll be honest, I do a lot of stupid things in cars, and going on that racetrack with an actual competition is too stupid for me. Absolutely not. They ignored some of the inputs of the original race car racetrack designers, and they moved a lot of their safety walls in way too close.
That's not a good thing to do.
No, it is not.
More or less safe than Englishtown?
Woof, God, that is a really, really tough call. And I'm gonna go with more safe only because it's not in that part of New Jersey. Englishtown was incredibly dangerous, where you'd be nose to nose with another $200,000 supercar with only 3 cones separating you, aggravated by the fact that you've got a chain wearing Guido that the rest of New Jersey makes fun of in your driver's seat. And I'm stepping on ears where we're gritting up. I apologize.
Oh no, you're fine. Continue. I was enjoying that. Yeah, go ahead.
Chris, Jeff, and I were instructing for a supercar company at Englishtown, and we all 3 agreed never again after not that track. We'll go back to New Jersey. NJMP is a great track. Englishtown, god awful.
And I'm gonna thank Mental Johnson for that good, authentic, extreme experience gibberish. That's good.
I just got done watching that because I wanted to see something that would make me proud on the TV. I love that movie. All right, so are we straight into green?
It says pacing, so
okay.
I'm assuming that this person is probably supposed to be pacing, and I don't think they are. Let's see if it throws the green.
Straight.
Well, hold on. I think it might throw the green flag here. I'm waiting. I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not sure what's going on. Hold on. Looks like
we have a pacing car?
We don't. Interesting.
I think they passed it.
It did because so when you do a standing start, you start like on the straightaway, right? So we started where you start for a rolling start, but there was no pace car.
So they just took off. All right.
I'm gonna
again.
The race is underway. We're 2 minutes into the race now. I'm gonna get to figure out what's going on here with scoring, get that working again. Seems like we always have fun with that. So looks like we're underway. And while I'm working on that, I'll put it on focus on crashes so everyone at home can enjoy. There we go.
Good enough.
Good enough. Finney Fox, you're confusing. There's Speed Vegas and there's Exotic Cars Vegas, and those are actually on opposite ends of the town. Exotic Car Racing Vegas is actually at the Las Vegas Speedway. There's a great drag strip, there's a great dirt track, there's a great oval with a road course in the center, and then a separate road course, and also a really good go-kart track out there. Those facilities. And I imagine part of it is Jay does nurse a grudge when you screw him over like that after he's already booked it. Okay, now we got it. 2 minutes.
I totally
2 hours.
So yeah, okay, so it was a pace yourself pace lap is what it was. A full one. So now the green flag is
exactly
that
what we expected.
The timer is correct. All right, we're gonna go with that.
Does that mean P3 is
Social distancing?
24 seconds back? I'm very confused about this.
Yes, it does, because they're following the rules, it looks like.
Here we go. So P3 is right here. There's P4. So the leader is just going onto the back straightaway. Here comes second.
The JDM Solstice.
Very nice. Fourth. Fifth right here.
Pit racing.
Oh, here we go.
This
seems like a good spot to hang out for a second.
Oh, yes. They're going to split the Solstice with a breakdancing crashy Jetta.
Iron City Beer is a good Pittsburgh reference as well. Randy Bish was at Gingerman, also racing in a Subaru and a Nissan 300ZX with his team, the League of Legitimate Nigerian Businessmen. Howard Dean, I missed you.
Right? Go back and pick up the first of the Dango Camaros working on the front straightaway.
Oh, Phil is not playing around. Man, he is aggressive right out of the gate. That's impressive.
believe he started dead last as well.
Yeet.
He might be one of those folks like Uncle Dave that will let everyone pass them just to make a challenge out of it. If you haven't been back to Road Atlanta lately, they did spend 2 years ago. They spent part of the off season increasing the size of the bump there, entering into turn 3, just to keep the Miatas from cutting through it, and it didn't work at all.
Fail.
Yeah, it's like 1.5 feet tall now. The turtle going into turn 3, and Miatas are still just right across it. Rah!
So in that time, they were doing the renovation to the tower. Have you been to the tower?
We were not allowed into the tower when we were there. We were expressly told not to go in it. John Pagel got to go in just because race control was there, but everybody else was told to stay the hell out of it.
Wow.
Stay out our tower.
It looks awesome.
That's right.
Yeah, pretty much.
All towers
this is gonna
belong
be
to
fun.
Road. Oh.
Can they get through this corner? We got a little bit of contact.
Looks like everybody made it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this supports our theory that all of the problems in iRacing are Midwestern racers.
Let's get a beautiful shot of them snaking their way down the hill here. Are these called the S's? I feel like they should be if they're not.
Yeah.
They are.
Oh,
Yes,
great.
Yeah.
That's an appropriate name.
It's original.
Right? You came up with that. That's good.
So the Radical Fix series in iRacing is here this week, and I've done 2 races so far, and it is a lot of fun to not qualify, start in the back, and watch everyone wreck, and then get a top 5.
Sounds right.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's great. Fixed setup, so it's just driving. It's nice. Shortcut
Lady
there.
around asking if we've had an equinox in Lemons. We have not. And in fact, Phil came up with the actually genius idea of a penalty, which is to get press photos of
beautiful
like
shot.
every GM SUV built from like 2008 to now, and make people tell you what it is just from a picture, because they all look the same. Yeah.
That is
would-
definitely
yeah.
a punishment.
Yeah.
You'd have to hold that in reserve for a team you want off the track for about 45 minutes, really, to get them to calm down.
Yeah, we
That's
had
gonna take some
one
time.
for years that was the AMC bumper identification. You just have the front fascia of like an AMC product that tell the year and the model, which was
Jeez.
impossible.
Yeah. That's right. Agricultural racing. That's right.
I remember back in the days when if 2 teams got into each other and they couldn't agree about there it is.
Getting stanky.
If they couldn't agree about whose fault it was, they would chain them all together and then hand them a big keychain, and they had to go through and try a key in the lock to see which one goes. And we did that, or we saw that happen at Summit Point, and just dumb luck, they got it on the first key. But
nice.
they were all so amused that they actually started getting along, which was the intent of the penalty.
Oh, Anton.
Anton under the bridge.
Not too bad.
No.
Not too bad. F's in chat for Anton, but not too bad. Didn't hit anything too hard there.
So
Keep
if you can get
digging.
it turned around before he gets smashed, well done.
I feel like any 2000s era small. Oh, what was that?
Whoa. Let's see if we can
Internet
figure out
reset.
what happened to the back of that thing. Let's go back and look at that. Hold on here.
I
What
think
just
he
happened?
disappeared and then appeared.
Yeah, I think so. Let it play and see if it goes back to it. That's crazy.
He just showed up at the start-finish line. Yeah, that's right.
Hold on.
He was just a little late for the start. They put him in. And, here you go.
Okay, here we go. Okay. Kevin Hesser. All right. What did you do?
Joe Bluth Racing right there.
There it
Okay.
is.
Okay.
Tango Camaro.
This beautiful shot right here. Coming down the hill. Gonna have a bad time.
3 wide into 12, and no one thought that was a bad idea.
If you French fry when you should pizza, you're gonna have a bad time.
The important thing is he still didn't lift.
Oh, the
then he
solstice.
Oh.
And then
I
you
did
got
not notice that. That's where the rear end damage came from. Okay.
the EDO's car got into him there.
Poor Ron Harrington, just sitting there.
Doing his thing, man. Just being the jam car.
Oh, buddy.
Oh.
Clang.
Many F's in chat there.
Yeah, lots of F's in chat for Ron Harrington.
Hey, there's that pace car, the lazy bums.
Yeah. They had the day off. Unions, you know.
Ooh, someone got a fancy Trans Am front end on their Transmero.
Ooh, I see Dunder Mifflin. Let's take a look.
There's Moe's on the side.
Oh, Moe's, Advanced Refrigeration and Prison Mike. Shroot Farms on the hood. Very good.
Oh, but I'm loving the Donnie, the Florida Man Donnie era Firebird front clip. That is gorgeous.
The Shroot false on the rear plate. Nice.
Dwight's Firebird, of course.
Of course. Yeah, duh. Yeah.
It's a classic American muscle car.
It's funny. One of my clients. One of my clients I'm working with right now actually lives in. Oh God, I'm drawing a blank now.
Scranton.
It's not Scranton. It's the one that's in Connecticut. I can't think of it. The one that Holly goes to. What the heck is it? Yeah, Stamford. He actually lives in Stamford. I was like, wow, that's great. Nice job there, Scott. Excellent car.
I used to live next door to Stamford in Norwalk, where I worked in Norwalk and lived in Ridgefield. So like, it's not. I mean, it's lovely. It's super expensive, and there's a whole bunch of assholes, but and lots of traffic.
I would say this livery is perfect in Schlag.
Yes.
Yeah. I once worked on that era Firebird. It was a third-gen Firebird. And we had a spare GTA front bumper. And this was mental. You might remember this. This was a Babe Rally car that we made for some English gentlemen who came over to run that rally. And they wanted a black Firebird to do a Knight Rider theme, except then they had the horse's ass on it and et cetera. Anyway, working on the bumper, I see stamped into the bumper molding is inside. It says "Built in Kentucky by the Colonels," and I thought, well, that's what better thing for a Trans Am bumper than "Built in Kentucky by the Colonels," and it was part of the mold on the bumper. So who knew?
Wonderful. So they could send it to Canada so it could be built there.
I just want to point out that Josh Hust in chat enjoyed watching the figure 8 races on Tuesday. Thank you, Josh.
Chrissy, didn't you race in that?
Oh, God.
Not this week. No, I watched it. It was awesome.
Jeff raced in it.
They're the best. I love figure 8s. They're hilarious.
Have some Jeff
Laugh
Jay
the whole
Becker
time.
there.
I was going to say, Jay, I'm going to go back and see what happened to Jay there, because that's unique damage with the chrome. I like it. See if we can see what happened to... There we go. All right, here we go.
Just a little too hot and not enough.
That is...
He looks like he had previous left rear damage. Let's go back to the beginning of the... Yeah, see, he's already got a rear... interesting stance on the Mustang. It's the left rear is pushed over. Okay, here we go. Here's a clean left rear. Let's see what happened to him. It's nice and shiny.
Matrix mirror Mustang.
There you go. I was gonna say it's nice and shiny. I wonder if Nate Levine behind him had anything to do with it. Let's see.
I bet it's this Miata.
Oh.
Nope. All right.
The suspense is killing me because I honestly don't know what's about to happen. I know he's going to get left rear damage, but I don't know where it's going to come from.
Probably the left.
Yes. In a rightward direction.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume that as well.
Mentally, you're a genius.
I did go back 2 laps, so it's eventually going to happen. I'm thinking it's going to happen right here. It's the right setup. Hey, look, Nate did have something to do with it. I was right. Wow, I'm surprised. Yeah.
It's like the missing arm in Hot Tub Time Machine. If he doesn't lose that arm soon, I'm just going to rip it off myself.
That's right. Here's an onboard look at what happened, ladies and gentlemen.
He's coming over.
I wonder if Nate's using his Guitar Hero controller tonight. I don't know. Maybe, probably not.
I feel like, and I know this is the battle cry of the dickhead, but I feel like Nathan had the line.
I think the other guy dropped the tires. What happened?
Yeah, he did. I was just talking crap about Nate. That's all.
Well,
as you should.
Also fine. I'm totally fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, who from the iRacing crew raced at Gingerman this weekend? Now, you may have already said that.
Boy, that's a good thought. That I have not. Chris Chrome finished second in the Lemonade Racing E30. He was regular for a while.
Nice.
I think we had one of the Save the Tatas a couple times. John Haggard raced. They won overall. Let's
Excellent.
see. Mike Gow of the Rod Throwing Fools finished 9th, was leading the race for a while. Eric Hesser from
Anton's getting...
there.
Oh, yes.
I
Sorry. Oh, no.
No, not the short. No.
right on
Oh, he
the
doesn't even make it
blind
through the
spot.
bridge.
Oh.
Oh.
Never lift.
You know,
Oh,
and,
yeah, on its side.
and he's trying to flip it. He's like,
There we go.
There you go. Nicely done. I'm genuinely troubled by that crowd of onlookers and their lack of concern.
Yeah, where are their masks?
Right? Oh, this was filmed before, pre-pandemic. Yeah.
Oh, they're in the South. They don't wear masks in Georgia.
Well, they just found out last month that it could be transmitted airborne. Yeah, the governor.
Weird.
told them.
Well, they don't
And then
believe him anyway.
He keeps his foot on it. You see, he's trying to ride it by not lifting.
The thing is if he would have lifted, it would have rolled back on its tires there. But that's okay. All right.
But that violates the rule of you never lift, man.
Well, that's
right.
true.
There's a mantra
That's true.
here, which is
That's
never
true.
lift.
Like,
That's a
I put
highlight.
it on focus on crashes, and it goes right back to that car. It's not actively crashing. Well, maybe it still is. I don't know.
All right,
Here's
is this
our race leader. Yeah.
It
yeah.
is. Oh, his fast lap was a 104, which is, I mean, I know we're cutting 6 and 7 out of it, but that's quick.
The top 3 cars all have a 104. He is about 4/10 quicker than second place's best lap, which is Matt Sitko in the Bear Pope Enduro. You see a Mustang off the track. See now if we can put it back on crashes without it going right back to the... Okay, it's going right back to Scott again. At least he's moving now, so it will be, that's okay. Legit focus on crashes. Here we go. Jay Becker still has not repaired that Mustang. As you see it crab walk down the hill through the S's. There's that's the nice thing about the crab walk. There's room on the left now for a whole Miata.
That is impressive.
That is a legit amount of crab walk, though. Let's take a look at it.
That's NASCAR level.
Oh yeah, that is nasty. I like it.
A few years ago in Oklahoma, our friends and us, all of the ridiculous automotive fads that we all hate, like Hella Flush and all that, they all actually have roots in racing. So we wanted to start a trend called Hella Crab, which is where your rear axle isn't even on the same track as your front axle. And when people go, "Oh, that's just stupid," you just go, "No, it's racing. It's a lifestyle. You wouldn't understand." And it's based on how the NASCAR high-speed oval cars always have a slight crab to them.
Absolutely.
Or
Yeah,
not
it's
so slight.
pre-pointed left, basically, as it's going down the straightaway.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
And then police in Ocean City, Maryland, could arrest all of us and impound our cars every time we come there for a convention.
Ah, gotcha. So we do have a few people that are doing the Iron Man, but we also have some teams too as well. Santiago and Carl are in the Miata for Scuderia Borica. Is that right?
Boriqua. Yep.
Boriqua. Yeah, nice. Matt Sitko and Jared Duclos for Bear Pope on screen now in their Dango Camaro. Black Maven Motorsports, Greg and Raymond. Here's a look at them in the Solstice. And then Wisconsin Crap Racing, we've got some family action with Kevin and Eric, the Hesser brothers, racing here in the Jetta. We also have No Business Racing in the left-hand drive Miata. That's Charles and Sean. Nice. One East Coast guy and one West Coast guy. Love to see it. Tiagi Reserves also looks like is missing one of its pilots at the moment, but it did have two.
It's not Stefan Wilson, apparently.
No. It's probably fine for Chris Wolfson and Al Jones in the Jetta. And then TD Eyesore Racing, Alan and Chris in this particular Jetta, the Moushlong Canadian Lager. So we do have some teams and also some people doing it in Ironman style out here tonight. So yeah, there we go.
So
that's your actual
Eric,
racing information update. Back to the conversation.
Eric, did any of these more amusing iRacing themes show up at Gingerman?
I believe Alex Levinson was there, who I should have mentioned earlier. Was racing a couple different cars. He put the nudes for rude thing up in the Discord chat.
Happy belated birthday, by the way.
Oh, much appreciated. God, that crab is so good. Speaking of Ocean City, Maryland, you get the crab. This is what you get there. Because it's just the ocean's there. Anyway,
Your brain is so done. Just let it go. That's fine. It doesn't matter. Maryland, yeah, crabs. Got it. Okay, got the crabs. Oh wait, no, I don't. No crabs. Oh, shit. How do I get out of this?
Ocean City, because it's a city by the sea. What's going on there?
Yeah, they were super creative when they named it.
Yes, Stunt Granny, when I said
like
Iron
Matt Connolly
Man
Motorsports.
solo for 2 hours, yes. Typically this is a team event, but some of our drivers are choosing to race solo rather than not race without a teammate, so we can appreciate that.
Or they have no friends. That's also possible.
Which we also can appreciate that too.
Yeah, no friends racing.
Alex Levinson, by the way, raced two of the cars that were highlighted in the handful of photos I sent to Ryan. One of them, the car with the giant hole in the engine block, and the other one being the Volkswagen Quantum, whose hood flew up as they entered the racetrack. Yeah,
there's the hood. Yeah.
Did Alex? Did he race either one of them on like race time actually, or is he responsible for the bad luck that they got because everyone was trying to hit the black and pink Jetta?
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
Because we were talking to Alex when he comes to our E1R Monday night races, and he was saying, "Oh yeah, no, I've booked with to run the Quantum and the Jetta. I'm running around all kinds of time." And then, yeah, how'd that work out? Yep.
Well,
about right for Alex.
The Quantum did Quantum things, which that car's never run totally right. But when it runs right, it's really fast. And then, the Neon blew up. They swapped it.
I just want to do.
I knew I heard destruction while we were looking at pictures. There it is.
There you go. Tony Payne.
F's in chat for Tony Payne, everybody.
I want to do a shout out to the number 16 Jetta for their incredible theme. Nice job, Peter, for really stepping it up. That's great.
Lady Aubernon pointing out the black Miata. That's not even the bonkers part about that car. So it is they cut the roof off a Geo Metro and welded it onto the Miata, and they called it a trash back, which is hilarious. And then they got bored with the Miata motor, so they put a Cadillac 4.9 liter V8 out of like a 91 DeVille in it and put side pipes in it. And it's fast as hell, and it's the last thing you would expect to be in it. But they torched one of the heads, and they had towed out from Colorado. Luckily, one of their teammates had been left behind, hadn't been able to go, was in Denver with their spare engine because there was no way they were going to find another 4.9 in Detroit. Believe it or not, you're not going to find one. So he flew a red-eye flight from Denver to Chicago with a pair of cylinder heads that he carried onto the flight, and they swapped them in, which is pretty great.
That is excellent.
Did it work?
Yeah, it worked. They didn't have gaskets either, so they used spray gasket, and it ran all weekend with
nice.
Wow.
So that was heroic fix.
Shout out to Permatex, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we didn't give out a heroic fix, but that was definitely it.
Wow.
So, yeah. We'll cover that one in the wrap-up video a bit. They also built a pit vehicle out of the donor Cadillac's front seats, and the 12-way power seats still work. They put it on a mobility scooter chassis that they cut in half and widened to the track of the front seats. It's fantastic.
Man, we missed that. Like, we just never got creative enough to chop up our Jazzy. I mean, putting the Rolls Royce seat on it instead of the Sparko was as creative as we got. And I mean, that was ass pleasure, certainly, but we never got to the point of like a couch, like a mobile couch. That would be the next thing.
It was literally excellent for your butt.
Oh yeah.
You left the you did leave the walnut decanter set in the back of the front seat as you drove around that Jazzy.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But like, why would you take that out when you have a Rolls-Royce passenger seat with the champagne cooler thing, or not even a cooler, the bottle holder in the back? You leave it.
That's true. The Cadillac seats were also the 80s whorehouse red, which was great.
Oh yeah. I'm a liquor salesman.
Yep.
I'm a liquor salesman rental. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Lots of good stuff happening this weekend at Gingerman.
That's great. And mass grave for easy ups, apparently.
Yeah. So it turns out behind the maintenance shed, they just throw all of the easy ups that get wrecked like in a pile, and the pile is literally like 15 feet tall. It's amazing.
Oh, man, if Stasha were there, he'd be like, "No, I make 8 more from the parts. No problem."
Atlanta too that year, I see. There's a big windstorm. We were at Road Atlanta the first year, and we literally piled up probably 20 easy ups on Sunday morning after it. And they just brought a dumpster and threw them in. But before they did, they tinkers and build things out of trash. Sasha was like trying to piece together a working one out of the parts in the.
Wasn't that one of your penalties or a penalty idea? Is you have to fix those?
Yeah, we made a team fix one. They were not particularly enthused about it.
Which is probably how they ended up in the penalty box anyway. It's if you're going to be mopey about a penalty, you're failing to see the core problem of how you ended up in the penalty box.
Generally, Jay Becker's still driving with the Crab Miata, by the way, or Mustang. That's fantastic.
I'm waiting for it to blow up or blow a tire. Actually, he's driving quite well. He's on it. He's only given up a couple of seconds a lap.
Yeet.
Full yeet.
Full yeet. Very impressive, though. Legit.
Oh, there it goes again. Maybe it'll straighten it out.
Nope, that's not going to do it.
Out with the front end, no.
All right. Cat on a Roomba. That Jetta did not want to give up that place. That was just Peter was going to stay on the throttle all the way into that. Oh, we missed something here. Some sort of smoke coming out of the corner under the bridge.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Or at least a wrecked car.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
That's going to hurt. Ow!
Oh!
Don't lift.
Breakdancing Jetta.
F's in chat. F's in chat for Chris Wolfson.
Tire wall there. Give him a little extra lunch.
When I saw the rapid difference in speed compared to the car that was preparing for the corner and the car that obviously wasn't, I figured it would be a good shot, so it worked out.
That's always an interesting thing in both iRacing and the real world when you're coming into a corner and you're too hot and somebody just sails past you and you're like, you know that the road turns
you're
here,
done.
right?
Yeah, you're like, oh, you're done. Yeah, exactly.
This will be fun.
Yeah, very familiar with that feeling. Absolutely. Oh,
those are the same people who usually come into the penalty box for like a pass under yellow, and then ask where, and you'll say turn 7, and then they'll say I don't know where that is.
Perfect.
And you're just like, well, I think I see the problem.
But like next time you go around the track, count. When you get to 7, that's where it was.
I've been doing this. Oh! We got the Shroot Firebirds. Looks like he's going to be tapping somebody. Well,
That's what Shroots do.
I just figured as a beet farmer they'd be attracted to dirt, but I've got that.
You know
one
what?
mixed
And
up.
the car is almost beet colored too. I noticed that now. Yes, it
Yeah.
is. It's beet
It looks
colored.
like Anton took another
Legit.
off-track
Nice.
excursion. Just a few laps back there. If we go, or rather, a few turns back. If we go back to turn 3, Anton was off-roading.
Let me take a look at that.
He's
Let's see
catching
here.
up though.
9:40 p.m. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the magic log. Let's see here. On set, off track. Double click. All right, let's get a look. I forgot about this feature. Event log.
No, this is It was before this because he was right at turn 3.
All right, this one.
Yes, something should happen here.
There it is.
There. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, all him.
He is at the right facility for Formula Drift, but not in the right vehicle.
Actually, that's across the street over at Lanier Speedway. They'll do a lot
Those
of
cars are a handful.
they do a lot of drifting over there. Well, not Formula Drift. That's where all the Atlanta and Georgia amateur drifters go.
Ah. So yeah, shout out to the timing screen session events for actually working. There we go.
Excellent.
Oh, Mustang taking a agricultural shortcut. Eric. Nicely done. Nice recovery, Eric.
I know it's not, and I'm not mocking his name. I'm merely mocking Pittsburgh. I feel like Yinkst is some sort of insult in Pittsburgh. You know,
Man,
you
probably.
Yinkst.
It's like Jinx, maybe.
Or Yins or something. You know, it's a combination of Yins and oh man,
It's like the plural of yins.
yeah.
No,
It's
That's already plural.
It's Yins, but they have some sort of generalized anger about something. Yinkst.
I was gonna say it's the formal version, like
Yings and angst mixed together. There you go. Yeah.
We did have the Downtown Motorsports at Gingerman also, which is the Prelude team themed up like Donnie Iris with all the
Oh
Pittsburgh
yes,
stuff,
absolutely.
including the Nebby, which is also a Pittsburgh Yinzer insult, I believe.
So he's asked this question twice, or she's asked this question. Cites is Wirecat Wild Sand is asking what's crazy downhill for steepness, Bathurst to Laguna Seca.
Bathurst.
I don't know anyone who's ever raced Bathurst.
Bathurst. I did the 12 hours of Bathurst on iRacing back in February. It's definitely Bathurst. Yeah, there's a
longer.
whole. Yeah, there's like a whole. Yeah, there's like the. I'm trying to remember what it's called now. Drawing a blank for some reason.
Skyline down to Forest
Skyline.
Elbow.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Sky. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah,
And-
but
drops like
both are
200 feet.
both are very impressive, and yeah.
It is. I really enjoyed Laguna Seca, and I enjoyed the corkscrew. Did not find the downhill that intimidating. I think 11 into 12 at Road Atlanta is much scarier.
The best turn at Laguna is the turns after the corkscrew. The corkscrew is
Totally.
like, it's fun because it's a big drop off, but you've got to have the testicular fortitude to hang on through the next few corners up until you get to the straight. That's where all your time is at Laguna, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And also the turn as you're coming up the hill past the sound station and the left-hand turn where you've got to hit the bump.
Yes.
Just right. You actually it sucks you in, but but you have to get it. You have to turn in hard enough that it sucks you in. But if you turn like 8 inches too far to the left, it just spits you out hard. So
Yes.
you've got to get it exactly right, and that's the challenge of Laguna. That was a good time.
And that's actually my favorite turn because that one is the one where your brain is going, no, 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 no. And you know that you have to not lift. You have to stay planted and hit it just right. And you have to shout down your
Depends on
brain.
the car, but yeah, absolutely. the turn. You and I are what the hotel turn is at 6. I don't even know the number at that point. But
see, yeah,
y'all
and I
know
was
what I'm talking about.
the whole thing about I don't ever know turn numbers. Is that the one over by the thing with the sign and the guy? I think the only one on our team that ever knows turn numbers is Chrissy, because the rest of us are all describing them by what's around them, and Chrissy's like, "Oh my God, that's turn 4."
No, I'm usually the one that knows a number, and Chrissy's like, "Oh, there's a crash at the turn by the thing with the tree and the bush and the house." That's what Chrissy usually says. And
since she started doing her track maps, she's pretty good at it.
Well, usually you hear crash at the and
yes. And then meanwhile, someone else is
That's
on the
about
radio
it.
going, "I'm bored. Someone read me an erotic novel."
Is that
was
someone
Omar.
with that little boy you mental?
Actually, no. But it was when we were deep into the Phil theme for the S&M. And we'd all downloaded the novel. And so during extended yellow flags, Jeff would read it into the radios, and we all found it oddly arousing.
Well, when Chrissy read it, it was a little too arousing, so it went back to Jeff. So. Yeah, that was Omar. He was in a long full course yellow. He's like, "Hey, anybody, I'm super bored. Can someone read me some erotic literature?"
Wait, wasn't
that was when he could still see the gauges. Oh well.
Was that at Barber? I feel like you could be arrested in Alabama for broadcasting that.
No.
Not
that
if you
was
say
definitely in
Jesus.
Northeast race.
Yeah, no, not if you say Jesus anywhere in the middle of it.
Yeah. You can just replace the name of any character with Jesus, and suddenly you're safe in the South.
We've told this story a dozen times on our show, but I feel like some of our listeners, as long as there's no crashes, might enjoy this. A few years ago, the Patriots were playing the Eagles for the Super Bowl. And that weekend, we were all down. Yeah.
You got to bring this up?
So we were all at Barber. We were all at Barber, ready to absolutely, we were packed. We were ready to go. Like, as soon as they were done handing out trophies, we had the bar picked out. We knew exactly where we were going to go, because in the Chris and Chrissy household, there is an Eagles fan and there is a Patriots fan. So Jeff and I were just going along.
Jeff is just as much of an Eagles fan as I am.
Yeah, but he doesn't live in your house. So
sure,
I was going just to watch the inevitable domestic disturbance, and Chris and I arrive at a lovely seafood place just outside of Barber, maybe 20 minutes down the road, and Chris walks in wearing his Tom Brady jersey, and the lovely bartender looks up and goes, "Hello, welcome. I can see y'all are here for the football game, but I have to warn you, this is a dry county on Sundays." And Chris, with the most polite smile he could muster, looks at her and says, "Thank you so much," and turns right around and walks right out the door. And we spent the next hour.
I just want to beer with my dinner.
We spent the next hour and a half trying to find an open bar, finding another one where we were going to get knifed, and we ended up at an Applebee's in Carrollton, Georgia.
Did you burn it down?
No, it was fantastic. The whole Applebee's in Carrollton, Georgia was wonderful. Our waitress was a Philadelphia fan.
I was an Eagles fan, yeah.
And was planning on getting in her car and driving that night back to Philadelphia to go drinking with her dad if they won.
It was great. It was an epic story. One of those, you couldn't write a book. It's really that happened. It's fun.
Jeff,
and the Eagles won.
Jeff, the great peacemaker, walked into a bar and said, "I've got about 7 minutes before I get stabbed," and we had to go find a fourth bar, and that ended up being the Applebee's.
And he'll do whatever he could to get the right bar, but that was not the right one.
I don't trust a bar that doesn't like Jeff. I think that's a really standard yardstick.
It was a little concerning, but that's okay. We had a great story. And he goes,
God, it was a great story.
Well, kid, I think I finally hit the wall, so I'm gonna check out. Thank you guys for having me, and thank you guys for talking and letting me talk about lemons. I probably sound about as tired as I am right now, so yeah.
get some sleep.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, Eric, it's great to see you. I'm jealous of everybody that got to hang out with you this weekend. But yeah, best to you and the family, and happy belated birthday. So if you haven't sent Eric nudes for his birthday, go ahead and jump on his Facebook and drop any of those pictures of noodles off on Eric's Facebook page for his birthday.
Yep, that excellent. There'll be more on the race from Gingerman coming up on YouTube. Look for some more on social media as well. And yeah, I'll be back here Thursday night, I believe, to do some more commentary on iRacing. So,
yay.
Good night, everybody. You guys hang in there and enjoy the rest of the race.
All right. Good night.
Good night,
Thanks, Eric. F's in chat for Eric.
Please, because like so far, only Stunt Granny and Lady Aubernon are playing.
Scott's doing some Chimera kind of things there.
Yeah,
It's only 2 wheels off. Ain't no thing. Wow.
All right. This is an odd question, but I'm going to ask Lady Aubernon on the in the chat window if this is the same Aubernon that used to write for the Truth About Cars and currently is, I believe, managing an art gallery. We'll see if Lady Aubernon answers. Oh, fantastic, Lady! You know what, dude, or Lady? It has been a very long time. This is the same mental that used to write for the Truth About Cars with you. So I am now that I know who you are, I'm beyond happy to have you on board.
Wow, Mental was super excited. I haven't heard Mental that excited in a long time.
Lemons iRacing League, bringing old friends back together since 2020.
Yes,
Certainly nothing I've ever done has made Mental that excited. So well done.
That is great. That is really cool, though, when stuff like that happens. I love it.
True. I got that excited the first time I drove the Civic with the new engine.
Was it a spoon
Well, that's kind of
engine?
true. The Civic with new engine is kind of fun. No,
Was
it's not
it
a
a
spoon
spoon?
engine. Sadly.
Oh.
It's a $600 junkyard engine. Like
Much more reliable.
That fit in the back of my Volvo wagon.
There's
No,
a
it's
Lemons
completely
car,
excited.
a Civic, and it can be covered in the engine compartment can have spoons in it, and it'll be there you go.
Oh,
the spoons are kind of loud though.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Fine.
oh, here we go. Eric
Uh-oh.
doing a nice job of mowing the lawn.
Go.
Oh, hey, no, back on track.
Excellent.
Well done for Eric
Well
Etzer.
done.
Not hitting anything or anyone. So that's quality racing right there.
Well
And
played. Well
landscaping.
done. That's right. Job security for the facility staff at Road Atlanta.
Yeah, it's Georgia. It's all kudzu. They're just going to mow it all down. It's fine.
And he has a team name, which is great.
Yes, extra points for actually having a team name.
Right.
Yeah, again, laziest team name ever.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, and I apologize to everyone else in chat. Lady Aubernon and I are catching up. We were both on the same.
That's cool.
The masthead of the same automotive website back in the day, and then she moved into the art world. And I'm going to shamelessly say I don't know what she's doing these days. I hope she's still writing.
Not art anymore, apparently.
Yes. I bet she's still doing art. She's just not in charge or not running that communal space anymore. All right, we're looking at Kevin Mobs here, who is in fourth. Our leader. Has Phil literally been leading from after he passed all the slower cars and then just ran away with it?
No, him and Native traded back and forth a few times, and I think Sitko has led some laps too at some point.
All right, so it's all free Camaros. Mustangs are just not cutting it. I believe that was a Solstice making its way into the pits with a, they'll do the smoke. The model, the realism model is
Let's see if we can see what happened to this lovely. Oh, there we go.
Catch fire.
Oh,
Let's see if we can pick it up here. Go back just a little bit more. So yeah, a little off-track excursion and a friendly visit. Let's change the TV camera. I hear crunching. Oh
goodness! All three of them. Oh,
where they had a party, a solstice on friendly fire. Never should happen. GM stock just plummeted here at Road Atlanta.
Three solstice, which three solstice. Right. Sizable percentage. It's a double-digit percentage of remaining solstice.
That's right. So Ron gets it wrong. Unfortunately for Greg, he's there.
Yeah, he was trying. He was trying to give him space to come back onto the track.
Oh, Greg head on into the wall. Wow. F's in chat for Greg, and then someone felt left out. So
that is Ray. That's
David Bryan. He felt left out apparently. Let's pick that up and see why he felt the need to get involved in that. So we'll back it up here a little bit. Oh, look, an instant replay.
Solstice Massacre. Well done, Ryan Beal.
Yes.
Oh, wait. No, I'll go left.
Oh, that's...
crap.
I don't think there was much avoidance going on there. All right, F's in chat for all of the solstices belong to death right now, apparently.
Another great save. Look at this. Jonathan Samuel. He's going to put it back on the track.
One right behind him, too.
Apparently the grass is just as good as the track.
Lots of traction in Georgia kudzu. Oh, all right. So, there we go. All right. So, Lady Albernon is now writing for the enthusiast side of internet brands, been for at least 2 years. Excellent. And the Albernon Highway. I remember the Albernon Highway. Folks, if you're listening to this and you want to read some good automotive writing, check out the Albernon Highway. It's worth your time. Of course you wrote for Haggerty because our friend now works for Haggerty. and he has been actively recruiting everyone that is worth their salt to excellent. Got a link to the Albernon Highway there, folks. If you're in the Twitch chat, click on that. Otherwise, it's the albernonhighway.com. So I'm enough pimping my friends here.
Right? Oh wow. Okay, cool. There's a race going on.
There is.
Neato.
There is.
It's we still got the same 3 Camaros leading, and good on them for doing it.
Yeah, I have it on focus on crashes. That's been pretty successful so far.
But there's minimal crashes, though. Yeah?
Exactly. Yeah. The Midwest is the problem. Everyone in the Midwest that is now driving back from Gingerman, that's the source of so many crashes. Yeah, exactly.
We're missing our friends and their crashiness.
Tom, you should totally be at this race. You wouldn't have to pout for a week.
Oh my God. He pouted for more than a week. We're talking about Tom Lamino in his Fox. The crash at the end of the race last week. Last weekend.
Eric. And he stays in it because rule number 1 of the Jetta is
never lift.
Never lift. So it gets a little sideways there.
Did he get help from the Miata, bro?
No, he did not.
No, he didn't. No, he did not.
He was already
the vector had been aligned and then wasn't required. Look at that.
Yep.
Oh well. The weight transfer in the back of the Jetta there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't lift.
Never lift. Because, back on the track.
Lift.
They're staying in it. They're going to stay in it. They're going to stay in it.
Yep.
All right. And unlike the Milwaukee Bucks, they stay in it. Well done.
That was a very appropriate low touch pass there. Nice job. Well done.
That's right.
But yeah, so poor Tom Lamino got, he was winning class, got wadded up in the last lap of the Le Mans. And yes, just, there's 4 hours I'll never get back. Well, yeah, you weren't going to get them back if you won, too. That's not the prize.
Right.
Well,
It stings. It stings. It really does.
It was very Tom Lamino appropriate bitching afterwards, too. So that was good.
And I get it. I understand the frustration, but it's the same rule in iRacing it is on the real track. If you can't afford to wad it up, that's a little Jetta on Jetta violence. If you can't afford to wad it up, don't put it on a racetrack. And if you don't have 4 hours to kill, then definitely don't log into iRacing. Imagine winning hours of your life back as a prize. I fear that it's the same thing. If I had all the money that I spent on cars, I would just spend it all on cars. And if I had all the money, all the hours that I spent on iRacing back, I would just go iRacing.
There you go.
Hopefully I'd be better at it, but I know deep in my heart I wouldn't. All right. They're going to go down the straightaway, and he's going to take that inside line, cuts off the nose of that Miata, takes it in.
He's faster. It's cool.
He is. So
what?
Chris,
This team name says "Love Live You." YouTube it. So apparently it's something we're supposed to look up. Yeah.
Oh, I'll do it.
I saw it earlier.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
I wonder if I'm going to have to enter a credit card number after this.
Probably.
You know, when we bought our house, someone put some bullshit stencil above the fireplace that said basically that in like cursive writing, and that was like the first thing that popped up. It was close. It was close. It wasn't. It's a YouTube, but it was one of those kind of stupid country ass things.
Well, it's the infamous Karen. They did the Karen over the Terminator, and it's come to me if you want to live, laugh, and love. All right.
Is that what it is? Is that what he's referring to? I like that he tells you to YouTube it. Their livery is not very good. We have a show on how to do liveries. You should listen to that one.
Oh, I believe this might be some sort of K-pop reference, because if I type in that, I get a lot of henna cartoon dance stuff. That
are they reserving tickets for rallies right now?
No, they're not, but that would be awesome if they were. I don't want to click on it because it's totally going to ruin my search engine, with all the petrolitras. Yeah.
I know all about that. Our Amazon history got so messed up when we did S&M. I was like, I don't really, but I'm just going to buy all these Chindex. No, I don't. But
But thanks for thinking of me, Amazon.
Right? I've heard before. Now I should search for that again.
Is that the random wish results when you're scrolling on Facebook?
Right.
Totally.
It knows me. Oh, it knows me. It's terrible.
Now, there's apparently a new Anna Kendrick film called Love Life, and then again, everything else that is showing up is K-pop or henna cartoons under the Love, Live, U, capital U. I did the capital U and the space S. So Kevin's going to have some explaining to do, because honestly, an obsession with K-pop cartoons, that's just not weird enough for me.
Gotcha. All right.
And you no longer own a rapey kind of van like you used to listen to K-pop.
No. I am. Most of my vehicles do not get me dirty looks in the school zone. I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, everything I have. I think
when you do burnouts in the Mercedes in the school zone, that gets you dirty looks. But
well, from the parents, the kids are all giving me thumbs up. So yeah, that's exactly where I was actually going with that joke.
Jeffrey A. Gap, if you're interested in joining, it's isuckatracing.com has all the information about the 24 Hours of Lemons iRacing League. That's isuckatracing.com.
Highly recommended. You need to join on there. It's very much a Lemons approach to something that can get really stupid and over competitive, and they just do their best to take the competitive aspect out of it and make it fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And here's our second place car. Speaking of not being competitive, the Bearpoke Enduro.
Let's see if we can get Matt up here and talk to him while he's driving around the track.
Always a good plan.
Matt Sicko, you're in the broadcast booth. How's your night going so far?
Hey guys, I can barely hear you.
Oh yeah, that dang old Camaro is just roaring down the straightaway. All right, well, good luck, Matt. We don't want to distract you too much. Maybe next time you're not in the car, you can turn iRacing down so we can chat. But
yeah,
good
I'll
luck.
at the end of this.
Good luck. Good luck, Matt.
I'm all for that too.
10-4. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, so that was Matt Sicko, who can't hear us. All right, random other person to talk to. Let's see here.
This is quality broadcasting right here.
That's how we do
We got
it.
someone else mowing the lawn coming into turn one there.
That's how we do it. Let's see what Tyler Stank's up to. Hey, Tyler Stank, you're in the broadcast booth. How's your night going?
It's going all right. I had a slower car try to block me a lot and cause some contact that I'm not happy about, but otherwise I'm doing all right.
Contact in a Lemons race. That's impossible. That's against the rules.
Also, I can barely hear you guys. I'm sorry.
We get that again. See, that's twice. Well, that's okay.
Why is Tyler's team name not Stink, Stank, Stunk? That's what I don't understand.
Because I didn't think about it that much prior to the race. I only started preparing yesterday.
For the
You had
next
24
race,
hours, my
expect
friend.
something
No
better.
excuse.
Yeah.
Well, good luck, Tyler. Thanks for stopping by, and sorry to hear about your troubles. Good luck.
I think everybody learned the lesson and they turned their chat down so that we can't get to them.
Even if they can hear us great, they're like, what? What? My ex bat
Sure.
no done.
Same thing we all do when our parents call. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm driving
That
into
was
a tunnel.
actually,
You
yeah.
live in
Yeah, that
Las
was-
Vegas. Yeah, it's weird.
That was pretty legit, by the way, Chris.
Thank you.
I've heard a lot of
usually
yeah. Oh, we've got problems for the Shrootmobile. Also for Tyler Stank, as he gets the broadcaster's curse and goes off track.
There we go.
But hey, he didn't hit anything, so good for him. Well done.
And he saved it. Yep, absolutely. All right. It's like Kevin's rolling up in that I'm about to knock over a liquor store paint job on his Transmero.
Let's see if we can see what happened to Scott.
I bet he's just coming in for a driver change.
No, he had.
No, you're right.
Maybe.
No, just one lap. Never mind. Yeah, he broke it.
Oh,
Clang.
Took
got
out a-
crossed up. Ouch.
Damn. That mushy suspension on that danged old Camaro just ain't cooperating.
Oh,
See,
can't see
he's
anything
got to
from up
listen to
there.
our last episode, Bethel, of how do you make a iRacing car setup be okay, not good.
Yeah,
okay.
especially if you're coming from the stock cars to make them turn road racing. Absolutely. Walk through that.
So now the other thing, Mental, you were saying when your mom calls
See the black lines.
and you're in
Go
the
ahead.
car. I just, when your mom calls me, I thought you're in the car. I thought you would just open the windows and hit the loud pedal and go, what? Because suddenly you're going 140 and you definitely can't hear anything. So
Yes, exactly. And normally I do that, but it's been 105 every day this week, and I'm just, would I rather do that or just talk to my parents? And I'll just suck up to talk to my parents if I don't have to worry about negating my air conditioning.
Sure. So you leave your rear sunshade up permanently, basically.
Pretty much. It is. I haven't driven in the dark, and that's the only time it comes down now. And speaking of people who don't sponsor us and totally should, that WeatherTech custom cut front shade cover is coming immensely handy.
Love my floor mats.
You know, those are
Love my floor mats.
Those are $50. The windshield covers, they'll cut them for anything. It's the same material. So like when I bought the one for the Mercedes, which listeners, you don't know this, Mental bought my Mercedes CLS 63 and has
Chrissy,
loved
jumping
every
right now and say our CLS.
Yeah, well, yeah, she's sitting next to me. Yes, she agrees. But the one that Chrissy and I took on One Lap of America, that was a great time. But as soon as I bought it, Mental said, so when you're ready to sell that, you just need to tell me. And I bought it from a Microsoft executive who had moved from Seattle. Oh, Mustang! Mustang! Clang! Clang!
Eric Yinkst, suffering from a little bit of, let's throw some F's in chat for that poor Mustang. Suffering a little bit of...
If he had made it into the pits, that would have been the most aggressive pit entrance ever. But right, yeah,
No.
he would have gotten a penalty for that pit entrance. But oh well.
That happened to me
Anyways,
on our Monday night E1R race. Jeff decided I needed to pit now and knocked me into the pits, and I got a speeding ticket for doing 140 in the pits.
Yeah, actually, no, that happened to me at one of the Laguna races, the few Lemons Laguna Thursdays I've been on. I got totally jammed by a Jetta that was all the way right on track and decided, no, I'm going to pit now, and punted me, my legend, into the pit, into the not into the pits, into the the little barrier between the pits and the track. So that went well. Anyway, well. So yeah,
all right, we have a
enjoying.
report. We have a report from the pits. So Love Live is a Japanese school idol group. They're like their 3 or 4th set. They do live concerts and whatnot. Okay, thank you.
That's what was showing up. That's all that.
There we go. Kevin, thank you for the. There we go. Oh, Tyler Stank.
Clang. Tyler off again. Totally cursed because we talked to him.
Yep. I'm glad I didn't look at any of those videos because then my wife would really be curious about what I've been searching
F's
for.
in chat for Tyler Stank, everybody. Root F, even. Sorry, go ahead.
So we're talking about the Mercedes. Oh, and Eric and the Mustang. Oh, and he is pressing on that Mustang, not lifting on that blue Mustang.
What are you talking about?
Going into turn 1, the same turn that Eric went wide, there was a Mustang that went wider. If we, the blue one that you just showed. Sorry, I should.
I'm just wondering if we're watching the same feed because. Yeah. All right, now I just see the Mustang. Let me check my latency and make sure it's okay because, I see the Mustang now, he's just going backwards.
So he goes even wider than Hessler coming into turn 1.
I'm just wondering if we're watching the same exact timing on feed.
No, we're doing a replay right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, me too. So right now I see a Mustang.
Yeah, here we go. He goes wide.
Yep.
Jetta goes wide.
Yep.
No contact.
All right, good. We're watching the same one. Good.
Mustang decided
the Mustang's looking
on. I'm good.
He's looking for people to hit. That's the Mustang's problem.
I have an 80. Craig Lauren says he has an 83 Lada Nivea. How many bonus laps or sympathy laps could I get thrown onto my total? You're going to get 0 laps. Yeah, you're getting 0 laps of the Lada Nivea. Your biggest challenge is Phil's going to try and take that as his judge mobile that whole weekend. Not to mention,
Craig,
go ahead, Chris.
If you can make your Lada Niva slowly continue to go around track, but not so slowly it gets totally in the way because we ran into that with the rolls in the Citroen. Is like you've got to go fast enough to not be a complete hazard, but if you can just keep it rolling the rest of the time, the Lada Niva will win all of the awards pretty much.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
and wear those Soviet like fur like big top hat things all weekend, no matter what the temperature, and have kebabs and vodka, and you're done.
Potatoes.
All the awards are yours.
Absolutely.
Matt Sicko
100%
said he was out of the car now and willing to talk. Matt, you there?
Hey guys.
There's Matt. How you doing, Matt?
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, it's a little easier without car noise and other people.
No, there's car noise and then there's Camaro noise, and that's like going and seeing a Yanni concert versus Van Halen in 1986.
Oh, good. 3 years before I was born.
Oh, God bless it. I'm going to get a beer now.
I've already got my next beer ready to go.
You're my favorite.
There you go.
So what are we talking about?
I don't know.
Oh, and the Shrootmobile spins out. Did he get pitted by that little Pride Day Miata? I think he did.
Yep. Oh.
Yep.
Oh, he had it, and then
Pride Miata spun the Shrootmobile.
maximum,
That's kind of apropos.
So yeah, Matt, how's your race going so far?
Pretty good. A lot cleaner than I thought it would be. Yeah, short track, turn,
Well, that's not hard.
slower cars.
I mean, come on.
I always enjoy a good Lemons death race, but surprisingly, this one's been pretty clean so far.
Excellent.
So how is it racing the shorter Road Atlanta track compared to the normal one? Because I've never tried. Oh, hey! And Peter Dade does a drifto in the Solstice through the corner.
Well, it's less straight. Straights are nice in the Camaro just to go fast, but yeah, it's like a big oval just going the wrong way.
I mean, it doesn't cut out that much. Like, I've driven this in meat space, and all right, I see where you turn. Okay, fine, the top of the hill. So it doesn't cut out that much, but it certainly will cut down your straightaway speed because you miss out on a considerable portion on the backside, which with Lemons cars probably makes sense because I've gone way too fast on actual Lemons cars and don't do that on this track. No.
Yeah, the only nice thing would be if we ran the opposite direction, I could throw some of that oval stagger in and really use the street stock the way it's supposed to be used.
Oh, well, yeah, that's why we don't do that. Thanks. That's good. Yeah, like the other night we ran the 87 NASCARs at Daytona on the road course, and it's really hard to get them to go down any of the right turns in the straight stretches. Like you gotta go down to first gear in 40 miles an hour. It's terrible. But
I did the 87 cars over at Le Mans, and that was fun. As you can tell, I have an awful definition of fun.
Yeah, quotes on both sides. It's fun. It's a thing, and it was interesting. That's all you need to know.
It's FU, but sometimes you put the end on the end.
There you go. I like that.
Well done.
I can honestly say I've never heard that. There you go.
Nice
Very well played. Nice, Matt. Yeah, that's fantastic. So, when do you go back in the car, Matt?
I did my hour. I'm going to let the faster, less safe driver take care of it now.
Oh, great.
All right, so mockery it comes.
Put him. Yep, absolutely. Put him on the screen because something fun's going to happen.
In my absence, Schlavine moved up into first.
Yeah, he did.
I was saying mental. We had some dead here. We were mid Mercedes story before we got it.
We were. I'm sorry. When a concert I was at, someone goes, "Oh, that was 3 years before I was born." Yeah, it's time for me to go get a beer. But yes, so mid Mercedes story. Yeah. You and Chrissy purchased this lovely CLS AMG. This is the key point. The P030 option for the one lap of America.
Which, hey, now we're going to get to Mercedes minutia, but no one's actually listening, so no one cares. So if you get the P30 option, it buys you brake rotors that are 15.4-inch two-piece brake rotors. Those are bigger than the wheels on our Lemons race car.
And also, each of those cost more than all of my other cars. If you take my wife's car out of the equation, one of those rotors cost more than my other two cars combined.
Well, you know what's fun is they put the same brake rotors now on the AMG GTR. So now they're actually cheaper because there's a newer car out that takes them. So now you can get each brake rotor. Each brake rotor now only costs from Brembo aftermarket $500 instead of the $700 they used to cost, or the $1,200 they used to cost each from Mercedes. So
yeah,
hey,
I'm all about not paying $1,200 for rotors. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly right. So there you go, AMG life, yo.
But the key to that also, the P030, and you can correct me on everything I'm about to miss, because it has the electronically controlled fin differential. So you can spot that from outside the car.
Nope,
the chrome colored.
Controlled.
Yeah.
It is a actual hardcore real ass limited slip, not electronically controlled. Mechanical, the way God intended.
Oh, I thought it was magnetic or something. Never mind.
No, it is the real deal limited slip. It also has the 187 mile an hour speed limiter, because
that's where I was going to go. Yeah.
Right, you need to hold it back at 187 because it's got a lot more left. So it's the big brakes, the speed limiter, the limited slip, the Alcantara steering wheel with the silver paddles, and probably something else, but I don't care. But those are the important bits.
And I know everyone who's listening, that's not us, is going to say, how do you know it's got a 186 mile an hour speed limiter as opposed to the 150 mile speed limiter? Well, I don't know that it has a 186 mile speed limiter, but I do know that it doesn't have a 150 mile speed limiter.
Oh yeah, 150.
He lives in the West. Wow. Yeah. Well, I mean, the Germans are good about the 155 in general.
Yes.
But if you bought the AMG, they say, oh, all right, you pay extra, you get the best speed limiter. And so then they put it to apparently the 187 was for the limit of the W rated tires.
That makes sense. There's a lot of high desert between here and Willow Springs.
Yeah, I mean, but it gets up to 140, 150 really quite quickly.
Not
really quite quickly.
So solid that literally I look down and go, I should probably go ahead and put that second hand on the steering wheel right about now. But yeah. I'm sitting there in my air conditioned and heated seats, and I'm just so comfortable, and it's not even that noisy.
No. Well, I took it to Pocono once, and coming through the banking of the top of the oval where I was, and the whole thing, even though every sport mode was on, and you feel the thing just suck down into the banking, but you're going 130, but you are completely unstressed in any way, shape, or form.
No, you are alarmingly unstressed. So there's a discussion going on between Lady Albernon and our host here on this one about a new something that iRacing development should consider about having a kitty on a Roomba car that you could race in one of these iRacings, and I'm actually all about that.
Well, if you just put it over the chassis of anything, then there you go. Done.
So Meat Space Lemons Racers, there's $1 million. There is an award-winning theme idea right there, is Shark Kitty on a Roomba. If you can make that happen in your car, you can't just show up with a car painted like a Roomba. You're going to need to do some creative fiberglass work and actually have a cat wearing a shark costume, hat car.
But if you did that as a pit vehicle, that's close enough.
Ooh, a pit vehicle. Yes. All right. Wheels are turning. Go. Stunt Granny's getting ideas. Go for it. Started as a pit vehicle. because then you could loan it to Eric, and he would be ecstatic.
The fun of loaning weird pit vehicles to lemons is usually you don't have to loan them for very long. They get it, they use it, and they say, F no, and they leave it alone, like we did with our jet ski. Our jet ski was the most hella dangerous thing in the paddock, and we said, hey, you guys want to ride it? And about 20 feet later, nope.
That's why.
Thank you.
Why you're the only one who calls it a jet ski. Everyone else called it the death ski.
Hey, you know what? We had Soggy gave us a jet ski. I bought a scooter on Craigslist and some random like mountain board parts and a welder and some rum. And
what is a mountain board?
A skateboard for off-road downhill use. So so the mountain board one. Yeah, seriously, this is a thing.
Okay.
It really is.
Colorado.
You actually strap in totally too.
That's okay. Well, that I was gonna say that sounds dangerous.
So I bought a whole set of. So all right, we have time. There's 47 minutes, and no one cares.
That's right.
So
did I hear a welder and some rum? I thought that was part of the story already.
You did. In so many stories, at the CNC Mayhem Factory start with, "Well, I had a medal and we were drinking rum."
There we go.
Yeah. And when mental's here, it's tequila or a combination of so, and then weirder things happen.
Absolutely.
Oh boy.
Usually the next morning, it's the case of the disappearing tequila. Where did it all go? I don't know.
Matt Sitko, do you have any weird rum and welder stories?
I haven't had access to a welder since I had access to rum, so unfortunately not.
Oh.
All right, sorry. I just wanted to include you. I feel bad. You're still sitting here listening to us. Feel free to jump in at any point or leave at any point that you'd like to. So, but anyway, go ahead, Chris.
It's totally fine.
Yeah, if you guys hear snoring, feel free to kick me out.
There we go.
That was Eric before he left. So
there you go. All right, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, Eric totally had one eye open, being like, I don't know where I am. But
he's a champ,
trying
though.
so hard to be here.
He did so well.
yes. What's interesting is how sleepy Eric sounds the same as like regular Eric, just absolutely unrushed in any sentence.
Yeah, he just made slightly less sense. Oh, hey, Anton. There you go, Anton. Nice job, Anton.
That's actually a good
Can we see the inside of Anton's Camaro there? Because I want to see if he has a yellow driving suit on. Because Anton is known for having yellow driving suit.
Yes,
he does. Nice job, Anton. Well done, sir. Well done. Very poorly played. And I think Anton's driving suit started out white, but he's worn it in like 200 races now. So now it's yellow.
All right.
No, really, it was probably yellow. But
that inside wall, that is impressive. Stays off the inside wall and then takes. In fact, no walls at all. That was a
no contact.
Spin. Nicely
Legit.
done.
Nice recovery there.
Which is what we come to expect from Anton.
That was a good COVID-related crash. Is a no contact one. Well,
yeah, good social distancing from the walls. Well done.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, to the where did all the tequila go? Now that just doesn't apply to the CNC Mayhem Factory, which is what we call Chris and Chrissy's house in Pennsylvania, but also here in Las Vegas. I had some help making my tequila disappear when you guys were out here for the SEMA show.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Really, I don't remember. I don't remember that night, so I'm just gonna say I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yes.
You know, I had a lot of back pain, and that made my back pain go away. So, sold, done.
Yes, yeah. Tequila in a hot tub could absolutely decimate the prescription painkiller industry if it was allowed to do so. Oh,
now, Florida has a different story on that, but
yeah.
Valentine.
Oh, did he get some touch? Did he get a little touch on that one? He did. Oh, and that.
Yeah.
That's not the first time the back of that Miata has been hit either. That damage did not come from that little tap. So F's and Chad.
The Rainbow Miata's been hit. been hit in the rear before. Who knew? Oh well.
All right, Lady Aubernon, I'm going to tell you right now that statement is not limited to June of 2020. There was January of 2015. There was, there's been a couple of those.
Where do you want to start? Right, but
yeah,
pretty
much every time you drink tequila, that's a quote.
Yeah, but I feel safe in Mental's hot tub drinking tequila, which is a weird thing to say.
Yes, as opposed to the Three Pedal Mafia hot tub where you
that's anything goes. Anything goes. Do not enter that hot tub unless you're up for anything, because the last race we used it at was New Hampshire this past fall, and we had 11 people in a 4-person hot tub. That was something. Once everyone got out, there's about 3 inches of water in the bottom, but everyone is having a nice time cuddling until then.
Absolutely. In fact, you had a full up Cher. You had Cher look-alike in that hot tub. That was great. And then
people were in there with their costumes or not costumes or whatever they happened to have on at the time or less. And then there was some marital aid throwing from the hot tub.
Can you call it throwing when Chrissy's that ruthlessly accurate with it?
No, it wasn't Chrissy. Chrissy was passed out. That was a different female successful racer who happened to be flinging a marital aid at a team that usually parties hard, but yet was changing motors. And it was the people who were doing the motor changing that kept getting hit by the marital aids, not the person who usually is the partier. So if you're there, you know what I mean.
Nice pass there, Nathan. That was well done. You kept that Mustang on the inside of a Miata, which I would never let a Mustang on the inside of that of me anywhere. Yes, the Three Pedal Mafia has a variety of marital aids. One of them is double-ended, and the other ones are designed to be attached to your chin. And should you get a black flag, you are now forced to wear that for the remainder of the evening. And since instituting that rule, the Three Pedal Mafia has seen a dramatic reduction in visits to the penalty box, but not a dramatic reduction in people wearing the marital aid.
Well, all of that is true, but certainly the severity of your infraction determines where the marital aid is worn. If it is a simple infraction, the marital aid may be worn on the forehead as a penicorn, but if it is a severe infraction, you must wear it in its original intended place, which is on the chin. And then, ideally, if you do well, you will shake your chin quite a bit because it's hilarious.
If you're truly bored, you dig up one of our original video on the Everyone Racers YouTube channel, which right after you subscribe to Bearded Sim Racer, you should subscribe to that. And if you dig up our video at, I believe it was Road Atlanta. Yeah, it was Road Atlanta. You can see us hosting one of our live episodes, and I believe I'm wearing it. And yeah, it's a little distracting because I'm a very enthusiastic talker, so there's a lot of motion there.
It is so good when everybody's wearing it. The bigger problem is that
you're all by yourself?
Nope, all by myself. I did forget my story.
Dave King, welcome on Facebook.
Chin dicks are very expensive. That was my story.
we were doing such a great job of just dancing around that one, and
I know. No, we used to have them, and they wear out so quickly now, and and we are out of one, and they're very expensive.
This all came from our S&M theme. That's a little backstory for the listeners. We had a Citroen SM as the
Hold on real
car,
quick.
and
Pirate, thanks for following. Go ahead, Citroen SM.
Thank you. So the best Lemons theme we could think of for Citroen SM was Citroen S and M, and so then we had all the cars participate. Like, right? So just search it for like old Thompson races. The Civic was Mr. Pfister holding the leash to the Citroen. Anyway, so then we bought a whole variety of the cheapest marital aids that we could find that were related to this sort of,
which again
idea.
will ruin your Amazon suggested shopping for years to come.
No, only for a while, only for a few months, and then it goes away, as we have learned. So,
By ruin,
anyway,
do you mean enhance?
Yeah.
We're also being told that Amazon apparently sells variety packs. I did not know
They
that.
do.
That's good to know.
They really do. So eventually, our cart got back to normal, but then apparently let's just call it the chin deck. Chin deck wore out, like the elastic on our $11 chin deck. It got so stretched out from how much use it had received as a penalty device that we had to get another one. So we did repeat 3 or 4 times, but now they're like $40 for a chin deck, and that's not a price we're willing to pay. So we have to figure something else out.
You can get a double ender for a third of that, and that yields so much more damage when hurled across a paddock.
Absolutely. And that double ender is still in use 4 or 5 years later. And, it keeps disappearing. Like, really, it disappears. And, like, we have seen it attached to other people's race cars during races and said, oh, well, that's where the double ender ended up. Okay, great. But then we've had
pretty wide going to the back straightaway. But yeah, keep talking.
We've had Lemons broadcast over the PA at New Hampshire at the end of a race. Attention, teams. If you have found a double-ended dildo, 3 Pedal Mafia would like it back for sentimental value. Thank you. And it's always been returned. All we ask is that people wash it off before they return it. That's common courtesy. Really?
And a Lemons I Suck at Racing top tip, you can run those devices through a dishwasher and they will come out clean.
Personal experience from you, my friend. Well done. We find the best way to clean the double-ended dildo is to leave it in the hot tub overnight. And somehow, usually that's where it ends up. We have no idea. We go to bed. We say, where'd the dildo go? And the next morning, we're cleaning the hot tub out. We find it. Who knew?
So we've got 2 twisted Mustangs going through here.
By the way, this is real racing.
Yeah, I know. The Matrix Mirror Mustang and the Rust Mustang both have a certain snarl that says, I just left cars and coffee to their front end grills. Yep, it's like a Becker and and Andri. Yeah, is Andri Iron Manning this one? No one knows. All right. Oh, he's taking the
yes,
way
he
out.
is. Yes,
Okay.
yes, he is. Yeah, he just had to sit in the pits and get 20 minutes of repairs too. He's had a bad race so far. In general chat. Yeah.
Iron Manning at 20 minutes of pit race or pitting. You're like, okay, that's great. Now I have time to sit.
Well, and the joy of that is then you can go make a sandwich, which you can never do at a real race.
You're like, hell yeah, I'm going to go get a beer and a sandwich.
Chrissy
Oh, good.
Patrick McNeely in chat is offering to buy marital aids to mount to cars.
Oh, yeah. Great. Do it. If you find a chin deck, I'm good with it.
So Stunt Granny and Auburn are comparing their various high school theater experiences, and one of them had similar devices to a 3-pedal Mafia toolkit, and the other one did not. I'm not repeating that one.
Now, could you use one of those to improve aerodynamics?
I don't think it ever helps aerodynamics ever.
For rehabilitation, perhaps, but yes. Is my screen the only one that just froze? I believe probably is.
Nope, ours is too.
All right, so I hope everyone who's watching this can still hear us. It looks like we had a minor possible technical glitch, which absolutely not the fault of the Bearded Sim Racer. Again, who you should be subscribing to and following on social media, particularly Facebook.
It looks like Mixer is just the issue, apparently. Huh.
Yeah.
There it is. Interesting.
They can't handle this level of awesomeness.
That's
Yeah,
right.
the last thing you guys want is a random racer commentating on this race.
Oh, we're totally all random racers. We're terrible iRacers, which is why we'd rather talk about it than do it. And genuinely, please jump in the middle of this. We all get in here and we have to fight for space between Phil and his references to obscure 90s, not even really punk bands. And
Porn?
Yeah, exactly. And marital aids are the only way we can wedge in there, if you get my meaning. Yeah, so.
I mean, if you guys want 32 minutes of Team Bear Pope talk, I'm all for that.
Bust it out. We'll interrupt you whenever we want to, Actually, so we've talked about this at a number of races, but it's probably funnier coming from you. Give us the origin of the Team Bear Pope.
So, long story short, it started as a bunch of cyclists on the Something Awful forums. Somebody had the bright idea to make a bunch of cycling jerseys and gear out of something that someone had drawn that was a bear with a Pope hat. It was essentially the answer to, does a bear crap in the woods? Does the Pope wear a hat? Is the Pope a bear?
Yes.
And there was enough overlap of cycling Something Awful people and racing Something Awful people that we just decided to steal all their assets and make them our own. Plus, I mean, it's a bear wearing a hat. You can't go wrong.
Is Something Awful even still around? I remember wasting so much time there.
It's still around. Not doing so hot for reasons probably don't want to get into, but they still exist.
Message boards as a whole are all kind of dying. So our friend Stunt Granny mentioned that he stopped playing the drinking game, which was a sip for every innuendo, because that would have killed him multiple times by now. Is a direct reference considered an innuendo? Like if we say marital aid, that's an innuendo, but if you say chin dip, that just kind of feels like right on the nose.
No innuendo. That's a thing. Oh no!
Scott
What
saves
even
it.
happened there? Come on.
Keeps it just a little too hot coming in there. Keeps it off the wall. Good on him. So, for our younger listeners who don't understand, before Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, the internet was all nothing but message boards, and some of them were localized, like my friends back in Oklahoma. And poor Leno, thanks for following us here. That's great.
You're welcome.
Thanks for subscribing. But the internet was all message boards, and you could meet people across the country or just local, and some of it was subject matter related, and some of it was just, we're going to find the bottom of humanity and keep digging. And that was the Something Awful forums. And there was all kinds of wonderful, irreverent humor there.
Oh, don't worry. All that's still there.
Mental, you forget the entire third category of the internet was dick pics. That's always there.
Yes, BBS, not just a well-known way to communicate. So Blake Transitor was asking, said we missed 2 accidents. Why do cars keep disappearing from screens? That is actually an iRacing hiccup. If they get a bad internet connection, and you'll see it if you're racing iRacing, it says so-and-so's drop throughput level below acceptable level, and then the car disappears and reappears. That's exactly what's happening. And
I've got it on follow crashes too. So sometimes it'll skip ahead or away from one particular camera to another one if it detects cars that are hitting each other or cars that are going to hit each other. So that's an instance of that. So if you see it like right there, just jump to Raymond crashing, because it saw him go off track. So that's probably what they're talking about in chat. But yeah,
In
also people
In
blinking.
Raymond's defense, someone squirted water on that windshield, and that's an inside joke, but we had to make it.
Nice.
He was totally blinded.
Totally blinded.
It's not his fault.
So that's what's happening with that one. What'll freak you out is if you're sitting in pit lane when someone's got a really bad internet connection. Amanda Tully and Soggy come to mind. Is they'll sit there while you're not moving, and every time their car drops, it does a burnout, backs up, disappears, drops in the same spot, burnout, backs up, disappears, like it's going to hit you 1,000 times while you're waiting for the race to start.
Yeah, my favorite ghosting and iRacing stories always involve me on Indy Fixed or some high-speed oval like Daytona where you're next to a car and then it just disappears and then it reappears inside of your car.
Yeah. And iRacing recognizes we're not going to wreck you for this. We're just going to freak you right the hell out, Philadelphia experiment style, for a few minutes while you guys figure this out.
And they'll toss in 4 incident points for good measure.
Yeah. On board now with Schlavine. Coming through fighting the urge to turn left there.
Can we give him penalty laps? He's so good.
Yeah, seriously.
He's a black flag for something. For nothing.
Oh, please do. I mean, I'm not saying this out of any sort of bias or anything.
So yeah, well, someone's happy we explained all that because they ate a brownie, which I'm absolutely certain is not illegal in certain states. So they were just worried that the sugar rush was getting to them. Yeah, no, it's no one has ever died from eating too many of those brownies. You're totally fine, dude. You're totally fine.
It's like saying no one's ever died at Disney World.
Yeah, Mental, you just created a challenge for someone. That's a problem.
It could be absolutely a problem, but there was a video making its rounds when marijuana became legal, and it was, yes, you're too stoned. Don't worry, man. No one has ever OD'd on marijuana. To Schrute Farms trying to fight their way back up to first. Not there yet. Good solid minute behind with 26 minutes left in this race. So unless something disastrous happens to Schlavine, probably not going to make it.
Hey, a lot can happen in 26 minutes. Hell, our entire races are 26 minutes, and a whole lot happens on our Monday night race.
Absolutely. Shameless plug, if you folks want some more iRacing on Monday nights, look for the Everyone Racers. It's usually about 5 minutes late, but it's just after 9 p.m. Eastern time. And if you want, email us.
E1R.
E1R. It is password protected because we want to keep the Japanese or the Russian spam bots out. But you can email us at everyone.racers@gmail.com or contact us on any social media and we'll let you in. Give you the password. Or listen to our show, you know what the password is.
But hint, if you like endurance racing brakes that were made by Raybestos, it's something like Richard Petty. And if you
or
get
Bubba Wallace, it's something like Bubba Wallace.
Yep, something like that too. Exactly. It's only 4 characters, and it's some Bubba Wallace. There you go. Join us.
Hey, so we've got a bit of a technical question here from Omega157, and they want to know what service you're using for streaming. Ryan? Ryan might have
I'm here. I'm here.
Real time. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no, you're fine.
Oh, not the internet? Damn.
Yeah, I use a service called Restream. I send the stream to them, and it goes from there everywhere else. So, yeah.
Which I really like because this is the only way I can get any iRacing on my Mac.
Really? Like, I guess I haven't tried anything else but this.
Oh yeah,
most of when
Me and Chrissy fought that fight when we were trying to broadcast one of our races, and we could not make it work on the Mac.
Yeah, I mean, like we're doing this right now on our MacBook Pro, but usually when we are racing, I've got a random gaming sim computer that we bought just for that only sits there. So that's a really good quality use of our money, but hey, we do it once or twice a week. But,
Hey, well, the money we spend for our hobbies, right? I mean, really.
Oh, absolutely. You've never seen a hearse with a wall behind it because you can't take it with you.
There you go.
the amount of money we've spent on stupid things we do with our friends, we could buy another NSX every several years. Oh well.
Yes. All right.
Or buy another Toyota Hilux pickup truck from 1978 every month.
Every month, yeah. I could buy 3 of those a month, yeah. Has that mirror Mustang been straight more than 2 laps this entire race?
They only get 2 quick repairs, so they might be forced to fix that, and that's probably why it still looks like that.
Yeah. Well, he was running
I'm
with
guessing
that
the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, with the stance.
That Mustang is saying, y'all got any more of those crowds or Miatas I can crash into?
Y'all got any pedestrians?
It's winking. That's what it's doing. That's what that is. It's a wink.
It's smug.
It's a little tweak. No worries.
Chris, have you tried GTA 5? Lady Aubernon on Twitch says you should throw some of that on there, on your gaming rig.
What?
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Grand Theft Auto. It's yeah.
Oh, yeah. No,
Controller
I played,
game. Yeah.
Back when I was just out of college or in college in the early 2000s. Hell yeah, I played GTA, but that was 3. Now that I have an actual gainfully employed job that pays me way too much money for what I do and way too many hobbies, no. I've been spending my last 6 weeks of all of my free time restoring a 1982 Boston Whaler because all my race cars were done. And I'd also done a whole ton of work to my trailer. So I said, I'm going to fix this boat. Yeah, going great. Except it's July and the boat's still not water. It's wonderful. Don't restore old boats, people, unless your greatest passion in the world is sanding. If you love sanding, go buy a 1935 Chris Craft and have a great time.
Phil.
Otherwise,
Yes, Phil.
like Philip.
Oh,
I mean, no, Phil, bad, no.
our one-time race leader, F's in chat, and he literally just trying to get around that the Bear Pope Camaro just overcooks that corner. What a shame.
Clang.
Yeah, incidentally, folks, if you're listening to this, I had to learn this by being a co-host of our podcast. Sand in the Whala is not a sex act in Boston. It's apparently how Chris and Chrissy have been spending their last 2 months.
Yeah. I've had this boat since I was 12. And it's been the subject of a lot of field expedient repairs, which I think all of our Lemons associated people here understand field expedient repairs. Well,
Just get another damn track.
Yeah, exactly. So I said, let's fix all that. 6 weeks later, damn thing's not done. It's only a 17-foot boat. How hard can it be? Even Tyler DeCouzy could crash into a wall, and I could fix it between now and 6 weeks later. But we're still working.
That's an ugly hit because almost no one hits the outside wall at turn 12 at Road Atlanta. Everyone comes down that corner, goes way too fast, freaks out, oversteers, and ends up on the inside wall. So, and it looks like, just drops those 2 tires, rear end steps out. He gets his traction just.
He sent it, and it didn't make it. No, well.
So, Brian, if we have to explain the cat on a Roomba to you, you're just never going to understand.
Have a few drinks, Brian, and Google cat on a Roomba, especially cat on a Roomba with a duck. Even better.
Yep. This experience brought to you by Americans' view of French cats.
That is Le Pierre right there.
All I need to know about the cat in the Roomba is that it makes the girlfriend go, "Aw." That's all I need.
Yeah, no, seriously, winning. Yeah.
Je m'appelle Le Baguette. Oh.
So
I like to
being
make
told that-
wine and cheese and love. Oh.
sanding the Wayla, not a Boston innuendo, but buffing the drive shaft, totally is.
Almost all my cars are front drive. I don't have drive shafts.
All right, so yeah, now we're getting requests for the French cat. Oh, yeah. There's a race going on, people. You're not paying attention.
How does the cat meow in French? Meow, meow. Oui, oui.
$18 minutes to go. Nate Schlavine from Priority Fail Racing leading the way. Matt Sitko's teammate Jared Duclos trying to chase him down. Got it down to about 55 seconds now that he's behind.
Matt, you think he's going to get it? You think he's going to catch it before the end of the race? You got 17 minutes.
Yeah, he's got to pit for fuel. Hate to blow it,
dang old Camaros.
Word Up for Life says if it F's floats or flies, better to rent than buy. You know what? I gotta argue with that. This boat we've had since 1991 has required almost zero real maintenance. Like, we give it a buff in the spring and wash it off in the fall and do some various field experiment repairs, but realistically its cost to maintain over the years has been solidly in a 3-digit number, which is way more valuable. Excuse me, the use we get out of it is way more valuable than the price we put in. But a lot of that's because it's a Boston Whaler. It's designed to last forever. It's a 38-year-old boat. Okay, so
and you got married in it.
We did. And I got it when I was 11 or 12. So that boat and I have had a lot of adventures together, and we've all survived. So it's been good. Not all boats are money pits.
Yeah,
it's about how you do. It's like a high-end European car. Like, if you have a Mercedes CLS 63 and you bring it to the dealer for everything, yeah, it's gonna bleed you dry, no doubt. If you have a boat and you have the marina do everything, it's gonna kill you. But if you are handy, like most of the people listening to this are racing lemons, you'll be all right. There's all kinds of things you can do.
YouTube is your friend.
Or just like general handiness, really. A boat's a boat. A car is a car. Like Mental, your CLX 63, the $50,000 engine, which that's what Mercedes would charge you to replace that engine, is $50,000. I had the whole top end of that thing apart. It's a motor. It's fine, and it works great now. So there you go.
Well, and in fairness, I'm going to go ahead and sell you out here to the tens of people that are listening. It worked great before, but you went through and did the lifters on it because you were selling it to me, and you just didn't want me to have a bad car.
Well, and while I was doing lifters, most importantly, I did the head bolts, which apparently some dealer decided that you could put these certain head bolts that had a torque head on them, and they said, oh no, those pop off every 3% of engines, so we need ones that have reverse torques. So you swap them out one bolt at a time, and you never actually crack the head gasket. You never make any problems, and so we did it that way. So replaced the bolts one bolt at a time. But while you're in there, you got to do the lifters, but there's 32 of them. And actually, that's the only part that had any wear on them. Is about 4 of the 32 lifters had a little bit of wear. So they're all new now. There you go, Mental. Enjoy.
Oh, we've talked this conversation. I'm now starting to shop for rear tires because absolutely I enjoy that car. Yes, 50 G's is way more than I paid for the car. I did not pay that much for the car. I got a steal on the car, especially considering the maintenance history on it. So The deal I got on that car was so good that when I presented it to my wife, she actually went, "Yeah, that's a great idea. Go ahead, buy it." That's the level of deal I got.
I think a lot of that is because when you said, "Well, I'm buying it from Chris,"
Yeah. And after we bought the Land Rover, that worked out so well. It was great.
right? No, but that's not facetious. This is the only time buying a Land Rover has worked well from anyone. Was the one time that Mental bought a Land Rover from me in the as Hurricane Sandy is bearing down and he has to get himself back to Oklahoma, and the only way he can do it is to buy a 190,000-mile Land Rover from me for just barely 4 figures. And
That's
That's
again. He
good
is trying so hard.
yeah, and that was the good idea. And if you really want to learn more, search up Mental's article on the Truth About Cars about his drive home in Hurricane Sandy, and you'll learn a whole bunch. And it's a good read. That's when Mental actually wrote stuff. Nice job.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
I like Al Jones's team name. It's probably fine. He's right.
How many times have we said that? It's probably fine. Yeah, just send it.
How on fire is it? How on fire is it? A little or a lot? It's like if I call in from the car and say, no, it's done. I'm coming in. Everyone goes, oh no.
Yeah, there's usually a tone to your voice that a depressing sound of resignation when you say it's done.
Because I've done all the mental math in my head of what could it be.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one time we're talking about, listeners, is we were leading the race at Thompson, and suddenly my right turn started to go poorly, which is, a tough time on a clockwise track. This is to the end of the day on Saturday. A piece of wire had stuck itself into the sidewall, and the tire gradually lost pressure. So even though everyone on my team did everything they could to swap that tire back, get me back on track, it was still put us back enough that we lost that race, came in second.
No, that was Saturday. That was Saturday, and if I'm not mistaken, we got it back out there and fought to third. Because if I remember correctly, I didn't drink Saturday night because I'm like, oh crap, I have to start on Saturday.
But it was great until the fuel injector failed, because that's actually our first race with that motor, and who knew a fuel injector would fail? Now I have 4 spares. Oh well.
So an interesting discussion as we come up on 11 minutes left in the race, and this is going to still be a good race. Somebody mentioned I am a built not bought person. Good on you. But boats, race cars, and horses are expensive. Yes, they are. They're stupid hobbies, but you meet the best people doing them. And somebody mentioned also that those are all-in hobbies. However, stories of taking a Sawzall to M3s and 911s are forever. Fact. Oh, just gets a piece of that Pro Mustang as it's coming through and sends it into the grass, but he holds on to it. Nicely done. They really do not want to give up this late in the race. That's some hardcore racing going on. And he is not.
Well,
Go ahead.
They've got a 51-second lead. Like, they can back off, and they'll be all right.
I don't think they're gonna. I think he's gonna go full send until the end of this.
Yeah. Like I've been in that position where I'm leading my class, and I'm saying, all right, I'm doing the math in the car, like from the random clock. Like, even when I was driving, Spanx Austin America, and we're winning Class C at the Ridge, we're in 12th overall in Austin effing America. And I'm doing math off of a Flava Flav style kitchen clock, like package taped to the roll cage to my way right. I'm like, well, when is it okay? Like, how far up am I? And trying to do the math while going in the straight, because going in the straight in Austin America takes a long time. So I'm doing the math and figuring out, like, when can I just breathe and say it's okay? It's a tough thing to do when you're right at the pointy end of what your class.
Yes. All right, so this is gonna be interesting. Rolling up on some back class leading traffic in the Iron City Jetta, or I don't know if they're leading, but certainly they are not giving anything. Shalee making a run for it here, coming out on the inside of, I believe that is that Maturi driving that Tempest, or rather Solstice. Get my Pontiac mixed up.
Tempest, really?
I'm sorry. I watched the regular car review stories on Pontiac yesterday, and Tempest is in my head.
You know, Ike lives like an hour and a half from us, and
Yes,
we've got
it
all
does.
kinds of weird shit here.
Totally,
well. You know, the regular car review should review the E400 wagon we have now, because after it, I've taken 2 little road trips in that. Damn is not the best daily driver I've ever experienced.
Those are strong words, because you've got an NSX, you've had a just probably the best Land Rover Discovery that was out there for a long time, a fantastic CLS AMG 6.3,
yep,
a
also
$200 Miata,
several BMW M cars, and you know, so coming back last night from the Jersey Shore to here, the car was in super cruise control, which means it's doing all the driving for you. Like, you occasionally have to touch the wheel to remind it you're here, but it's doing everything else while I'm not kidding. The ventilated seat is giving me a massage back and it's amazing. It's just so good. But then when you want to stomp on it, the turbo spool up and you go, and you can put it into Sport Plus mode, and it suddenly comes alive, as opposed to the, you know, kind of lazy second gear starts of the 9-speed transmission, and, you know, just calm quietness that it has otherwise. But it's it's not as literally mental as the CLS, which was totally bonkers, and I loved it that it was bonkers, but it was also completely stupid.
Exactly. It's bonkers in the way that it's a Daniel Craig, James Bond kind of bonkers. It'll sit there and it'll look great in a suit, but then when it has to lay waste to everything, it absolutely will.
It's a thug in a sharp suit. And the E400 is only like a, you know, Taekwondo aficionado as opposed to a thug. Like, it's strong, it's good, it'll do it, but it doesn't have the power, like the brute force that the 63 does. But, you know, once the warranty's out, I'm totally going to get tuned that's bringing up to 400 horsepower and 450 torque on the stock turbos. They're basically bringing it up to the AMG spec.
And then, you know, a nice little thrush muffler kind of a setup, so that when you need to announce your presence with authority.
It already has that, which is kind of dumb. Like, it's amazing how good a 3-liter V6 can sound, but hey, really, let's see how it goes. It's still under warranty. We're going to have a fun time until it's not, and then we're going to turn it up.
My neighbors just down the street have gotten used to, when I come home from work and I drive under the freeway overpass, I just need to hear that echo, and no one even flinches anymore. All right, Stank putting a little stank on it, coming under the bridge now. Actually, this is for position, because in front of him is the Iron City Beer Jetta, and that is currently running 8th. This could be a good battle.
He's trying.
Nope. All right.
I like on the spoiler of the Jetta, it says it's probably fine.
Probably
That's great.
That's great. All right. Al Jones piloting the Iron City Beer Jetta on this one, and Tyler not giving anything up. 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. Less than, actually. Yeah,
So now
absolutely, with an off-center label.
Straight. With the shorter straight, it's going to be tough here. Like normally, I would think, all right, they're kind of going to battle out in the straight. Someone's going to get some arrow, but with the
he's going to the outside.
And he makes it. Oh, look at that! He
dick it.
No,
Yes.
he's got it. He's got it clear.
Oh,
But the Jedi is still pushing. Still pushing. No, the Jedi couldn't make it. Nice, clean pass.
Strength on Al Jones. Though. He could have totally punted that Miata and elected not to. So nice. Good
That
race.
was clean, quality racing right there. Well done by everyone involved.
Yeah.
Except by Jared, because he's in a Camaro and it's obviously sideways. He's out of tires. I got no tires left. Oh, there we go. Yep, that's about right.
Yeah.
Camaro with no tires left. Letting everyone around.
The F's in chat for that one because that Miata still hasn't been fixed from its rear end accident a little while ago. It's still going there with its haunches up in the air. Oh, and here comes the 9 team right through the middle of that chaos. Oh, and our race. No, he's not a race leader, but he's up there. The Mustang.
Yeah, Camaro's actually pretty good on tires.
Yeah, that is. All right, so that Mustang's making a run for it. Ooh. All right, Duclos within 20 seconds with less than 3 minutes remaining. This could come down to be a nail biter.
Yeah, can we go to the Duclos car and just see how they're doing? Like, what's going on?
They're there. He's coming out of the pits right now, so it's.
Oh.
If he doesn't get up to speed very quickly, Schlieving or
It's over.
yeah, he's gonna.
Yeah. He's in the pits. Something bad happened. Oh well. But why don't we go to leader Schwain just to see, like, can he just chill enough to win, or is he still?
He's gonna try and lap him. Matt, do you know what happened with that last pit stop, or was that fuel stop?
Nothing. Yeah, it's actually a fuel stop. So here's the fun thing about iRacing with these 2A class cars. The Mustang gets your nice, fast, jet-propelled fueler. The Camaro gets 2 guys and 2 gas cans, and they'll get to it when they get to it.
That's how we run our pit. That's exactly how we run our pit.
So unfortunately,
yeah.
As I say, unfortunately, it's about 30 seconds extra for the Camaros to take a pit and take fuel all the way up to the full tank.
Well, you can tell that not to fill it all the way up. Like, there's a screen for that. I've never used it, but I've seen that screen and go, yeah, that might be useful someday. Not for me.
I'm actually talking in full tank is about 50 seconds on the Camaro versus about 20 seconds on the Mustang.
Oh, bummer. So yeah, that's gonna cost you the.
Yeah, it's one of those unfortunate things about iRacing. It's like I've raced with Nathan a bunch. Like, he's a great racer. He kicks my ass in the Legend, so I know he's fast. And I'm not gonna say, he just won because of fuel. But it's one of those things that'd be nice in iRacing is if you could just like standardize the fuel output. Because otherwise, the cars they're even.
If you get a Lada, Sumatra, that would be great, but we can't. Damn it. Why do we get no Ladas, no Trabants?
Yeah.
No Reliant Robins.
None.
No Volix C20Rs. I mean, damn, that thing just dominated at Gingerman. Who knew? We need more Volix. Great Wall Volix.
I worked at the racetrack down in New Orleans, and they had a stack of those FR 500s that they had actually bought from Miller, and I got to drive them several times. They are alarmingly good, and they're easy. They're easy to drive very fast. But yeah, it is interesting anytime you start referring to the Mustang as the gas miser of that. But in iRacing, I think the Camaro has a lot more setup possibilities. So for a sprint race, I think the Camaro is going to go every time. But I always default to the Mustang when given the option, just because I'm not smart enough on setup, and it's familiar to me.
Well, did you listen to the last episode that we had that you were on half of?
I did, but it's usually I'm strapping in for an iRace about 4 minutes before they're gridding, and so I don't have time to start experimenting, and then, so I'm just going to go for the easy button.
Yeah. Or just ask Dave. Say, Dave.
Yeah, and it is going to be. Yeah. So
it's pretty good win for Swain.
There it
Yeah,
is.
just
All
in
right.
general, ask Dave Carpenter for his setup, and he'll probably give it to you, and it'll probably be very good.
Yeah, no doubt. So there it is.
The only-
See who's going to take our B class or in this one, the Jetta. All right.
Or
So
more
Peter,
importantly, who's leading C? Because that's God's chosen class, really. So
it is, but in this one it's Soul Sai. So all right, Peter McDade looks like he's coming across there, 12th overall. 112 is that quite respectable in one of those in a Soul Sai.
mid pack in a C class car. Well done.
Absolutely. So, where's the Crash Fest going to be? That's the great question. So we're finishing up the race. Looks like they're all going to go ahead and make sure that they get that last checkered lap.
I like for road. I like bottom of the hill as a crash fest. Because you all funnel into the bottom of the hill. No, not there.
No, he's just starting early, and I don't think that was intentional. I think that was just overcooking turn one.
That's a Camaro with an E. Yeah.
and a dang dole in the front of. Oh, now we got a Crash Fest in the S's. All right, the Miata violence. Oh, he just keeps at it, just not letting up. Oh, wow.
Well done. Well done. That's
great. A full send. That is absolutely full send.
That's one of the best parts about the Camaros is they are the best ramps ever. Although I will tell you, a legend at 100 miles an hour into the front of a Camaro does not jump. Learn that.
Good. I can see the ground now. It's going to hurt. Can he stick the landing? Oh, absolutely not. That's going to hurt.
I know it's usually sky, ground, sky, ground, sky, ground, sky, ground. Error.
Yeah. I think that in-car shot was just a whole lot of sky, thin ground. Oh, all right. We got some more Miata up there behind, just behind this crash scene. Oh, there it is. The Solstice have all joined. That was an epic, good full tilt one there, Jared. That was nicely done.
Oh, it's going backwards on track. If he can make it to another car before getting DQ'd, good for you.
Oh, we missed something over here in turn one. This looks interesting.
Hey, everyone's in the sand.
He's coming back. Dun it, dun it, dun 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 dun. Nice.
We're gonna need a bigger solstice.
Whoa! What was, somebody's Jetta just was that the that was the
Mustang.
Milwaukee
That's a
Bucks Jetta, but he just got absolutely no lift right in. Oh, this is a brilliant bit of targeting.
That's like what last Monday mental. I don't know, your computer was having problems, but we came into turn one with our NASCARs after the race was over at about 185, straight into some people at turn one. And Jim, for example, he had a wonderful rotation. I think he had about 20 rotations before he landed back on his wheels.
I finished that race, made a full lap, came into turn one at 187 miles an hour, and I got Tom at a perfect T-bone. It was a brilliant hit.
Because Tom loves getting...
Oh, look at that. Never saw it coming right into the back of the Iron City.
Well done. All right, well, everyone involved, there's like 5 of listeners left. I'm out.
How many are still
listening? Next time.
Ryan, how many people are still listening to me and Chris babble about nothing?
66 people are still watching.
That is impressive.
Wow. It really is. It's tens of people listening, and I'm sorry you have nothing else to do with your lives, but we're happy to have you here, and we'll do this again. Sorry and thank you. Sleep well.
I believe Thursday is going to be the Gladiator and the silly hats race.
Yes.
If we're doing one of those, I might actually dust off my VR goggles and iRacing computer to come out for that, because I only will potentially race for the silly ones, not the real ones. So maybe we'll do that.
Nice.
Here we go.
Congrats to our winners tonight. Class A, Priority Fail Racing, Nate Schlavine driving at the finish. Class B, Peter Monin, all by myself, finishing 5th overall, winning Class B. Class C, Gatorade's Better, Peter McDade, winning Class C. So congrats to our class winners, and the overall winner tonight, of course, Class A, Nate Schlavine.
Race, well driven. Did it all, yep, solo in a team race. Yep. Yeah. Sicko saying we should disqualify him. I don't know. There is the growing argument for just doing the random black flag to somebody. Every lap, just somebody gets a black flag.
Thank you guys for joining me tonight for the broadcast. I know Eric appreciates it. I do too. It was a pleasure and a lot of fun tonight.
We generally love being on there. So let me see if I can do this without screwing up. So if you enjoy watching good sim racing, you should subscribe to Bearded Sim Racer on YouTube. Catch some of the other work that is done. Follow on their social media, and also Top Flight Computers. If you're interested in attempting this, try isuckatracing.com. That is the Lemons iRacing League. It is absolutely worth it. Always a hoot. If you find this boring, hook up a PlayStation controller or Guitar Hero, or 2 weeks ago we had someone actually controlling their car with a French horn. We do a Silly Hats race where you're not allowed to use wheel and pedals. That's always fun. Give that a shot. Subscribe to the Lemons channel on YouTube, and if all of that is still not enough entertainment for you, occasionally if you look on the wherever you get your podcasts, there's the Everyone Racers podcast. And Nemesis Labs, because I forgot. Yeah, Sean wasn't here. I felt bad.
There you go. Whoa.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah. He's just sitting there minding his own business. And a Jetta has something to say about it. Wow. And the Jetta still gets launched into the ionosphere. That was impressive. Another camera angle. This is going to be fun. Alan Evans there in that Iron City Brewing. Up and hits the escape key.
Gone.
Yeah, there you go.
Ejected from the venue. All right. I think we'll wrap it up on that note. That was impressive. Thank you, members of Everyone Racers, Three Pedal Mafia. Thank you guys for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Until we do this again, which will be Thursday, we'll be back for the Silly Hats race and probably a couple sprint races as well. So be on the lookout for information. Anybody out there watching that wants to get in on the fun, you can, like Mental mentioned, visit isuckatracing.com. And then I think that's going to do it. Appreciate you all for watching, and until next time.